Hey, chain dogs. Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh yeah!
Not quite in sync, but we got there.
That was the question, by the way, chat, just before you get confused.
Yeah, there you go. How are we doing, everyone? Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast, where we talk about everything theme parks, amusement parks, roller coasters from all around the world. If you're listening to this on podcast, as always, we do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Come and join us live. Get involved in the chat. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. How are you all doing? We good?
Great.
Good.
Really good. Really good.
Doing
The
well.
big 3-0. We made it.
Yeah,
did it.
for episode 30, man. Episode 30.
Why are you still listening to us?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Oh,
Go do something else.
drop off.
Go watch Drunk Riders.
Could do 30
Yeah,
likes though
yeah.
for this show. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
give the video a like. Give the video a like. Like the video.
Like the video.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so yeah, obviously we wasn't here last week, but we've all been pretty busy since we've been away. So Luke's been to the attraction source event at Alton Towers. Go check his vlog out if you haven't seen that, but we're going to discuss a little bit about it.
Yeah, definitely.
James has been to Bournemouth.
Nice and relaxing. Not theme park, but
That
was
was
meant to
wacky
be-
words
yeah.
down there somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
I did go to a theme park
Oh,
because I used Fort Park as a service station on the way back. I was there for an hour.
oh, nice. Yeah.
Literally was there for an hour, went on Stealth and Swarm, and then left.
I was about to say, did you actually go in on?
It's the best
Yeah, right.
search station in the world. Burger King. It's got
That's good. I was going to say,
I then did park on the M25 for an hour. So
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Swings
So-
and roundabouts, isn't it?
Just going to say hello to the chat. We got
Yeah.
Ben in the chat.
What's
we
up,
got
Ben?
Jack. How we doing, my man?
What's up,
we
everybody?
have Ben. We got Andrew. We got Emily. Nice to see you, Emily. We got Tom. We got Jesse. We have Matt. We have. I was going to say McCall. Then no, we always had it. We've got McCall. Definitely got McCall.
Yeah. What's
We
up,
got
Mikhail? Mikhail's
Chris.
in the chat.
We got Carl. He keeps calling me Mr. Dryer because he mistakenly put out a tweet saying Sean Dryer, and then it was just a thing.
I was going to say that has to have just been a typo
Yeah,
in the
Yeah, it
tweet.
was.
You just
In the
wrote-
tweet, it was a
Elon will
typo.
fix that soon, though. But that edit button's coming, man.
Oh, that edit button is coming. It is coming. We got
Don't have to pay for that shit.
Alison. We got Bradley. We got
Got a lot of people.
got
32 people
Emma.
watching. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, guys. It means the world.
Yes, how
honestly.
we all doing? We got Vic. How we doing? Anyway, we got a lot. I can't do this all night, but Tom, Laura, ads, yay, ads. So yeah. I went to. It was.
We have a lot to get
Oh yeah, I'm going to quickly do a quick roundup of my trip.
Do
that
it.
A few of us went on. So it was Plopsaland. It's a Belgian trip, obviously. Plopsaland and Walibi Belgium. There's like 10 of us, and we did it for like such a good. It was like it come to about £220. Someone, I can't remember. So someone
Wow.
correct me in the chat. But yeah, like about two, because we did like an Airbnb, and it's like fit 10 of us in there. It would just
Jesus.
made it so much better. And then we got 2 rental cars, and because it's like split between us all, like it was just like a really well priced trip. We got a lot in. The Airbnb was sick. If you haven't seen it on Twitter, go have a look at it.
The
We,
Airbnb looked like
landed-
the 2 photos you posted. The
Yeah.
Airbnb looked dope.
Mate, it was like in the middle of nowhere. It was so peaceful. Like there was literally
I might
like
have
farm
missed
animals
that.
outside.
When did you tweet
It
that?
literally looked like just
Yeah.
some random dude's cottage house.
Yeah, like
It's not
it was.
Parksville, yeah.
Yeah. If you go like down, you'll see it. But it was so cool. It was like like had like a mezzanine that went around it all, and then like, there's like attic space and stuff. It was really, really good, really nice. That's the benefit if you go like big group of people. But yeah, so Plopsaland.
wow.
Yeah, have you seen it? Yeah, I need to get it up. Yeah, it was so good. I haven't got time to bring it up, but yeah. So we got there on like the Friday, and then Saturday we hit Plopsa. Obviously, the main thing to go and do was the Ride to Happiness. And
finally, I can talk about it.
I don't even know where to start with it, man. Like, I don't know where to start with it. It's you've always got this thing where is a coaster overhyped, and I can categorically say this coaster is not overhyped. Like, it's not overhyped at all. There is nothing like it. I know I haven't done everything in the world, but I can categorically say there's nothing else like it in the world. Even Time Traveler, you go and watch videos of that. It's nothing like it. You're not getting.
I mean, I can confirm it's not in the same class.
Yeah, you've actually done both.
I can tell you that for free right now.
Yeah,
the prototypes in it, you know.
Some of the people in our group had like gone over like I think it was like 3 weeks before us, and as soon as I got back, the reason this trip come up was because we was originally going into Energyland. Yeah, we decided not to do that, and we was like, what's the other trip we can do? And we thought this is a brilliant trip, and they were like, we want to get out there as soon as possible again. And I can relate to that because now I'm back. I'm like, I want to do new parks, but I just want to go. I just want to go there and lap it all day, because I'll come on to the reason. Like we was spited by it a little bit, but we went and did it. The first ride we got front row, which it doesn't really matter where you really are on this train, obviously, because of the nature of it. But it was just nice to be sat like right at the front, facing out. For the first, that was lovely to do that
for the first 5 seconds.
That's the right car to have your first ride in on Ride to Happiness 1000%.
But
I always thought that
it was just like, right, we're talking about Mac. Like, Macs are known to, like, obviously all coasters warm up throughout the day, but Macs seem to be the ones that you get on it like on the first like few trains of the day. Like, it can be like a little bit underwhelming, but
not on this one.
So
not on this one.
Forceful, man. Like, I cannot explain. Like, it blew my mind. Like, we was on the third train of the day, and my God, like, it was insane. And like, obviously, I knew the layout of Ride to Happiness before, but obviously, when you go to a park for the first time, you don't really have that much time to like take everything in. You're kind of like, okay, we're just going to get this. We're going to get to the station. So you're not really. When I was doing it, I come off and I was like, I knew what all the elements were, but I was like, I can't even think about when I did it. I can't. Where was the vertical loop? Like, I don't remember like doing a loop. And
that
it was
is
like,
such a good reaction.
It was insane. And
literally, when I was at Pleasure Beach, got to chatting to Carl about it after you guys had come back, and he was like, we were just talking about like the layout and the elements of like that. Like we were both just like first few rides, just like after getting on the first few rides, and then like looking at the layout, and then just seeing like there's a vertical loop in the first time, and it was just like, when the fuck did we go for a vertical loop? I don't remember a loop being in there at all. Everyone has the same reaction to it. So
it was just insane. I mean, I could talk about it all day, but it's one of them things that you've just got to. I want everyone, like, if you can only even get out there for like a day and during the day, just like that's what Emma, Carl, and Vic and Chris and everyone did. Like, they just drove over there in a day and come back. And,
they did the same as me and had a use Towers as a service station.
Well, they went Chessington on the way there, they down, and then like on the way back went to Alton Towers, which is
everyone's using UK theme parks as pit stops.
Just you have an annual pass.
Yeah,
true.
Why not?
But true.
See, the thing with like Ride to Happiness for me is like it's like I can't remember if I said this on the last time, like after I came back from it, but like the strength of the elements and the different things about it, aside from the fact that it spins, makes it such a great ride, and then just the spinning, it doesn't spin fast enough for it to be overbearing on everything else that the ride does. It just accentuates everything else it does and makes it so much better.
It's the spinning is like the best way I can describe it is the spinning on it is like it sounds stupid, but it's like elegant in terms of like it's not ferocious spinning, it's the layout that is ferocious. And that's just not something I was expecting. Was that just the elements and the elements are just so complementary towards this type of coaster. Like a banana would not feel that crazy if it was just a normal coaster, but because it's a spinning coaster, it feels mad. And then the double inverting dive loop is just the maddest thing I've ever done on a spinning coaster. It's just you can't get your head around it.
Ridiculous shit I've ever So like on my first ride, we got basically the exact ride that I wanted on my first ride. I entered it sideways. Like you go over the airtime launch, and then like you hit the first part of the double inverting roll like sideways. So like you're basically just front flipping forward.
Or if you go backwards, like Emma said, you can go like back, you like back flipping up.
But then you're still like slightly rotating through it. So like when it comes to the middle portion, and then when you dive out of it, you may be getting that like backwards, and then as you come all the way through it, like you're facing forward again. It's mental. It's fucking mental.
It's mental. So someone said like, how does it compare to Enzo? And I already knew that this was going to be the case, so I never wanted to compare Enzo to Ride to Happiness because it's just a silly thing to do.
Enzo's not designed to spin.
It's not designed
to be that.
So it's just completely different. This you will spin a lot more on this, 100%. That's just the way it's been designed, is that they know that. But it's like the onboard audio like just adds to it. Like the first half, like I forgot there was onboard audio because it was just there's so much going on. That it was when I remember when I heard the audio, and it was when we was at the top of that dive loop. And I was just like, it's at that point, and you're just hearing that pumping music, like, grr, grr. And another thing as well is, if you've done Storm Chaser, if you've done any kind of spinning ride in a train, it's one of the best things is like when you're spinning around and you're seeing other people. If you're on quite a few rides, but on this, it is so mental because like 1 minute you're like facing like your mate, and then you the other side, and then like you just seeing so many people in one row, and it's just it's one of rides.
And you might both be rotating, and like you just rotate past each other, and you just see each other just going mental.
It was like every rider is doing. It was just like you just pointing to him like, oh my god, because you got that music going. Like honestly, it's not called the Ride to Happiness for no reason. Like it's insane. Like it's so good. It is, and the fact that is so close to us is just like, oh man, I'm gonna be.
Some people were saying it on Twitter today, like, and I mentioned it, like, it's literally for some UK enthusiasts, it's literally close, like they're literally closer to Plopsaland than they are to, Alton Towers, Pleasure Beach, Flamingo.
Yeah, it's like James, isn't it?
I'm closer to it. I can get there pretty.
You are.
It's an hour drive to the Eurotunnel this side, an hour on the other side.
On the other side, you could do it. You could
to
do
Towers
it at the same
is a
time.
3.5 hour drive. So
I'm coming down to yours, James. We're going to Plopsa.
You've got honestly, you've got to do it. And
everybody else in the country. So many.
It's but it's Anyway, there's no words that can describe it. It's so good.
The theme of the senses.
You gotta acknowledge how well it's themed as well. Like it's it's not intensive like Taron in Klugheim is, but the application of it is just so it's so on point. And I've aside from how well it complements like the area that it sits in, I've just straight up never seen someone combine like naturalistic elements with like the industrialized feel of steampunk before. Like naturalistic, like almost cottagecore mixed with steampunk. It's mad.
Well,
It's
if you
so well
look
done.
at stages that the Tomorrowland Festival is, who obviously designed it, or if you look at their stages, you will see where it's come from.
Of course, yeah.
And it just fits so well.
Yeah,
in that type of ride, and it meant they could use them like kind of same carriages as like Time Traveler as well. Like fits right into it.
Yeah,
which makes me wonder is like on the brief, like look at these cars we've got. They just fit perfectly into their style.
Make them a bit.
And yeah, but like like that first queue, you know, when you first walk in, it's like phenomenal. Like I would say that bit is like something you would see at like Phantasialand, in terms of that bit, because it's all lit really well. And then like there's certain elements where I'm like kind of got let down a bit, like like there was some final in there that was like had patterns on it. I was like, Phantasialand wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
This is me being really heavily critical. Like I'm always thinking, you know, I'm always thinking, okay, the attention to detail is for me is what makes it, but it's still amazingly themed and it works so well. And that face that talks to you, it's just such a nice little touch.
Oh, that just reminded me of okay, so I don't know if I think I had seen one of you mention that it was on two trains when you guys were over there, like, so it was only on one when I went.
No, it was on one when we went, but they delivered.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
They delivered the car, the second train, sorry, they delivered it on the Friday.
Yeah,
so when I posted about Mac being that, they've been testing it.
2 cars of the second train was sat next to the maintenance shed when we went, so like that was fun to see. But like in the station, obviously that face, I don't know what name that face has, but that face in the station is talking to you as like during unloading and loading, and like she's obviously saying a lot of different things as you're loading it. And when the train leaves, so because it was only on one train, there was just a huge gap in between the train leaving and the train coming back, where you just see the face just looking around like.
That's what I love. I love that. Like that's. I love the fact. I love the fact that.
like it just felt like so unintentionally awkward. She just wanted to turn around and go. So.
No, that was the same with us.
Today?
Are you having a good day here at Plopsaland?
I did notice that, but I kind of liked it because like I was trying to look for the loop and there was no loop, so it was like so perfectly done the way they've done it. It's like as soon as you're ready to go, it starts talking to you. But like it's like kind of looking around and then like the monocle type thing comes over her eyes and then goes back in and then like that sort of thing.
Have you vlogged this, Sean?
Yeah, man. The video's going live tomorrow. It's already been uploaded. So it's going up, man. Nice. I'm happy with it. We only got a day, and obviously rushing to get all these creds in. It was a really good challenge of mine to be like, okay, normally when I go to a park, I've got a lot longer. Yeah. So I'm happy with what I got, considering like I was basically having to like film on the go, and when everyone sat down, I was just like me and Chris Shutterbug. We were just like we were on the same wavelength.
I did see a photo of like you, Carl, and Chris just like on the steps, and I think there's gonna
be a lot of it. Like, but like I mean, McCall will relate as well, and probably you as well, Luke. Is for me, it's not. Some people might think, oh man, don't you want to just go on like lap rides rather than like taking photos and stuff? And I'm like, to me, like that's part of my theme park day. Like that's that's the time I get to like take things in and look at things, and it's for me it's like a souvenir to take back as well. Like I love when I go back and I'm like, I've got you'll be the same photos to go through or videos to go through, and you can put it all together. Like that's a big
Lightroom be full.
It's a way of it's another way of really taking in what the park has to offer visually as well.
I agree,
and especially if you're going around by yourself, like taking photos or getting video footage or anything like that. It's almost for me, it's almost therapeutic. And then obviously when you get back, you have all the visual media to look through and everything. And especially a park like Plopsaland as well. Like if you take a minute to just appreciate how nicely presented
this is what I want to come on
as
to.
a park.
Yeah, because like obviously that is the main attraction, but what blew me away was like how well themed the park is.
Yeah,
like there's so much detail.
It's
everywhere.
a gorgeous park.
Yeah, so I mean, we were blessed with weather. We had it was so hot when we was there, sunshine all day, and it just brought the park to life. But yeah, I mean, the park is owned by Studio 100, which is, the way I describe it, is like the Nickelodeon of Belgium. It's like kind of like a kids to early pre-teens type of channel. So they got loads of stuff on there. So all the rides, apart from Ride to Happiness, are based on shows, which is sometimes a bit weird. Because weird IPs, but it's like they own it, so it's almost like Disneyland, so that kind of reflects in a lot of the merch that they sell. Like, if you go on Heidi, which I'm going to talk about, or like Anubis, it's like you can't really get merch for it. It's like related to the show, so it's almost like buying merch for like Keenan and Kel or something. Keenan and Kel coaster. It just looks a bit weird.
There's worse shows to get merch for.
And unfortunately, it did make. I did notice that it made the majority of the merch like a bit more expensive than it probably should have been.
Well,
but
the stuff, what I noticed was with Ride to Happiness was that one half the shop, and this is going to trick some people if you don't really know what like Tomorrowland is. It's a music festival, so like majority of the shop, the gift shop, is from the Tomorrowland festival.
It's Tomorrowland,
wow,
yeah,
and it's literally like really nice stuff, like
nice.
All embroidered and stuff, but it doesn't say Ride to Happiness. It said Tomorrowland on it. £90 for a top. 90 euros.
Wow.
And like it's so nice. I was considering buying it, and I looked at it. I was like, no, it doesn't say Ride to Happiness. This is music festival, man.
Well, I mean, even like I really wanted. I don't know if you saw like the actual Ride to Happiness shirts, like off to one side that had like by Tomorrowland underneath it, but like the main logo for Ride to Happiness was in the middle of them. Even those were real, were
75
like
euro,
something like that, yeah.
And it wasn't embroidered,
really expensive, just purely because it has the name Tomorrowland on it.
But that's what annoyed me, was the fact that it was Ride to Happiness, or everything else was embroidered, but the actual merch was not embroidered, and it was still €75 for a hoodie. Yeah. And I was just like, this is just not.
This is not happening on a park trip.
No, I was like, I could, but no. But I like the Tomorrowland stuff because it was way more subtle. It was like you could wear that, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, you're gonna get people going, "Oh, you've been to the festival." It's like wearing a Glastonbury hoodie.
Yeah.
Like if Glastonbury made a ride, and then suddenly you're wearing Glastonbury merch, it's just a bit weird. So yeah, the merch.
Park, mate.
yeah, exactly. The merch just could have been better all around, to be honest. But that's just the nature of that park. But so yeah, Heidi the Ride. I'm going to quickly whiz through this. So Heidi the Ride, really, really cool. It was very bizarre doing a GCI one on six, like it's 6-car trains.
Yeah.
So
trains are really short.
It was so bizarre to see them on the track, and also there's not really much point in doing the back row because you're not getting anything from it. It's definitely a front row coaster. Whippy, it's not whippy, sorry. It's fast as hell towards the end of the day, like a normal GCI. But it's just bizarre because it's a proper out and back style, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So for me, I relate GCIs to like just stereotypically like whipping you into the corners and taking you around.
Really twisty layouts.
Yeah, really twisty layout. It's like the same kind of similar height and length to Wickman. So they are really comparable rides in terms of like trying to compare them, but just not layouts different. So, but it's just so smooth.
So much smoother.
Which
is almost to its detriment, in my opinion.
I think that, and a lot of people were saying that as well, was like, that's not it's good for like that park because they're trying to like, it is obviously aimed at kids when that was built. So it is good for kids. But like, if you're going in there expecting like your stereotypical like GCI, you'll be disappointed. But then if you just embrace it for what it is, it's mega fun and a really, really good ride. Like I really enjoyed it, especially at the end we did that last. Anubis, hands down. I haven't done that. Well, I've only done really UK Gerslauers, but what the best? It's better than anything in the UK.
I love Anubis so much.
Have you guys seen the launch on Anubis, the Gerstlauer?
It's really short, right?
It's so short, and you come round to it, and you're like, "That's not getting us up there. That is not." Like literally, just takes your breath away over the.
Did you happen to see them doing overspeed testing in the morning on that thing?
No, we was like, "Oh boy, what happiness!"
Dude, the way they fling that train over the top hat in the morning it's so stupid. It flies over the top hat. It's not. I'm not even kidding. It's ridiculous. Oh, I love it.
It's so good. And we did 2 rides on that, and I was just like, we did one on the front for the first one, which is the way to ride it. Obviously, it's a Gerstlauer. You want to be at the front on any Gerstlauer.
Yeah.
And we was doing it, and I think it might have been Carl when we was doing it. It was just like hands up. I was like, it's a Gerstlauer, mate. My hands are not going up. I'm securing myself.
I am holding on so I don't bash my brains
the second go I did have my hands up because it's not
you gotta have your hands up on Anubis and just feel your arm just get ripped behind you.
Once I knew what it was about, and it wasn't that bad. But again, it was split in the group. Some people did find it very rattly. I found it absolutely fine, but it was so good.
Flowers do that.
Yeah, it divides people.
Yeah, they are good at doing that.
But yeah, so really, that was like the standout one of that park, because I didn't expect it to be so good. Just because like that launch just took me away, like took my breath away. And it's just nice to do something, without a vertical lift hill for once. Like,
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's got me psyched to do Carnon, because like I was kind of like, I did that, and when people like go on about how good Carnon is, and I try and like, I do like Gerstlauers, but sometimes I'm a bit like, they're not the top of my list.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing how like nicely that ran, like it's not really that comparable, but just seeing how nicely it ran and how almost like elegant they can actually be with like going around and stuff, rather than just what we're used to, which is just like pure aggression and still being intense. It was got me excited to do that.
Just to jump in the chat real quick, Craig was saying hi, just wanted to jump in and say hi before he had to go.
Cheers, Craig.
Yeah. Hello. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Can we keep you
always
on the
nice
chat?
to hear from you.
I'm just waffling at a minute. I'm trying to get through this so we can move on to our topic. We've got so much to cover. That was really good. Super Splash, wicked little. It's not counted as a cred. I put it on Twitter, but it definitely is a cred. It's just it is a cred. It is, because every other Super Splash on RMDB is classed as a cred, except for that
RMDB.
one.
I was about to say RMDB. Maybe that's why you think it's a cred, because you're on the wrong fucking website.
Don't Google that, just in case.
Don't be something random. It is. It 100% is a cred. I don't know why they're saying it's not. It used to be listed as a cred. I saw the history, and they took it off.
I think you combined IMDb and RCDB.
That's literally why it's called RCDB, though. That's literally why it's called that. But
no, I don't know. I don't like. I need to like, because
if you look at them,
it feels like a boat ride to me. So,
but they are boat rides,
I'm just like.
But if you look at all the other ones, the only
with a look at Atlantica Super Splash at Europa Park, I would be inclined to not call that a cred, but maybe
it's listed as a cred.
It's probably it is listed, but it's like if you're comparing Atlantica Super Splash to Poseidon's Fury is very definitively a water coaster.
We're not comparing it.
Whereas Atlantica Super Splash,
what I'm comparing,
feels more like a boat ride.
Yeah, but what I'm comparing them on is every other model is classed as it, and the only difference with this is that it's got a elevator lift, and then it hasn't got that dip at the start.
Like I was joking, but I'm not necessarily like definitively saying that it isn't one, even though I did say that. But I was joking. But
I did say that,
McCall. On first, like I don't feel like I'm on a roller coaster when I ride it, but. If I look into it a bit more, I may be inclined to. I've not looked into it personally yet.
I looked at it and I went, like, if you can call a powered coaster that literally goes in a loop, we see him at all these little parks. If you can class that as a cred, you can definitely class this as a cred, man. That's at least.
They
But
feel like roller coasters, though.
yeah, but do you know what I'm on about? Like when you
And they
see
look like roller coasters.
I think they've got one in Flamingo Land where it's like literally tiny little thing and it goes around in one little circle.
What, inversion? Are you talking about inversion?
No, like a kiddie cred. That looks.
You talking about
though.
Go Gator?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is actually. Yeah,
It might be. But no.
I'm
Anyway,
Quasi of the kiddie creds, mate.
But Super Splash was good. The kiddie creds at this park are actually really good, quite forceful. You got K3 roller skate where you're in a literal roller skate and really good theming.
I need to have a look at this park. Like
you've got
There's a Sierra Tivoli in there with like a 27 car train or some bullshit like
is that. Hashtag like me coaster.
Yeah.
Which has got like a rave queue, which is so funny.
Oh
Watch my vlog to see scenes on that. That was hilarious.
I seen some sort of Instagram thing going on with that. That looks
so about that queue line.
That looked like you jumped into a school disco in the 90s, man. That's
that's literally the theme of it.
It looks like you just walked into like a swimming pool changing room or some shit.
And
then there's like rave lights going on. I'm just like, what kind of weird fusion of experiences is happening to my life right now?
Oh, this guy leisure designed this, like, you know.
But that's a pretty decent, that's a solid. But that's the thing, like even like I said, the kiddie creds are like forceful, like they're fun. Like there wasn't anything there. I was like, this is shameless. It was still like good.
Mac Mine Train. Is it Mac?
Yeah, they do.
No. Yeah,
they do.
A dragon on the front of it.
They have a
Oh, the dragon. Yeah, dragon. Yeah. That was really good. That gave me much gave me Legoland Dragon vibes. That one did.
Right.
Better layout, way better layout. But it's like the queue line, you go up in the castle and everything. And but yeah, it was really good park. You see the rest of my vlog that comes out tomorrow to see that.
Yeah, man. What time's it dropping?
It's probably like midday, so you can catch up with it in the evening if you need to. But yeah, so that was really good. What else was I going to say? Also something, one more park, which is going to be mega quick. But what I would say is, loads of people have been uploading POVs with wrist straps and stuff, and it seems to be a thing where some people like it's literally down to the ride op or ride host who let you on it. I got denied to use my wrist strap, but then I went later in the day, someone else was using one very blatantly, and that was fine. So just because you see in the POVs, don't assume that you can do it. Like it's better just to email the park and just get permission, because they'll give permission to anyone. We got that confirmed. They're like, yeah, if you do it beforehand, we don't say, oh, you've only got this many subscribers, anyone can do it, but you just need written permission to do it. So yeah, I got spited by that. But yeah, just to finish the day off, it's really good. Unfortunately, we only got 3 rides in on Rides of Happiness, because the last hour we were just going to lap it because it's on like a 20-minute queue all day. But then it just went down, and when it got to it was like there's 40 minutes left in the park, and we was like, they're not getting this open now, are they? And it's very much that vibe you was getting. So, but no fault of the ride or the park. It's just the way it is, isn't it? And then end of the day. So yeah, that was it. So next up was Walibi Belgium. Was really excited to do this because I've done Walibi Holland, and it was an amazing park. But yeah, obviously the main thing with this was there was 2 big ones for me going into this.
I think there'll be 2 big ones for me as well when I eventually go.
There was Kondaa, and then there was Pulsar that really interested me. Like Pulsar just looks the water coaster.
I want to ride Pulsar so bad.
I'll get on to Pulsar, but yeah, so Kondaa, the first one we did, obviously the new generation like Intamin mega coaster. With the big one. So yeah, literally, it's got that like Expedition G-Force type of drop, and man, like again, blew me away. I've not lined up like what my top coasters are yet or whatever, but it's a big contender. It was a big contender on the day for number 1, but I've thought about it a little bit more, and things are changing. But
yeah, because like we
Yeah.
We were chatting throughout the day, weren't we?
Yeah.
And you were like, I think I had seen from your Twitter post and like that you were slightly more blown away by Kondaa than you were by Ride to Happiness.
I think the problem is obviously it's when you do a new coaster, it's always gonna like, and it blows you away. It kind of fogs your head a little bit because you're so focused on like being blown. It's just such a different type of coaster to obviously Ride to Happiness. And I'm a big fan. What I'm a big fan of with coasters is first drops. I love that drop. Like I love that feeling of like dropping down. And you know, unfortunately with Ride to Happiness, you don't necessarily get that. You never really get that. You can get that, but a lot of times you might do loads of rides and not get it. So I was just really happy to get on a coaster where I had that first drop. But then it was like, the only way I can describe this coaster is like the first like airtime hill, you feel like you're on Shambhala, which is obviously amazing. But then the rest of it, you feel like you're on an RMC. Like it's
like
fucking insane.
Oh shit.
It's, to go from one to another, it's just mental. And the non-inverting cobra roll is one of the craziest elements I've ever done in my life, because obviously you're just riding on top of this cobra roll and it just feels so surreal. And then that turns into a dive drop, and then suddenly
I'm so interested about this element because it seemed like when it first got like installed and built, it was like that looks fucking demented and I want it in my life immediately. But then when we saw it testing and we saw the train like take the element, it kind of raised doubt about how much speed it was going to carry into it throughout the entire element.
So the speed you hit it up into its speed, but then it kind of slows down a bit, which is actually really good. Like it feels wicked, kind of gliding over that, and it's super smooth. Obviously, it's super smooth. But then you take that dive drop and it starts again, and it's just like bonkers.
It's because it looks like an element that will give you a very different experience depending on where you're sat in the train. If you're in the front, it looks like it'd be super whippy as you go up into it. But and then maybe not so much coming out. But if you're at the back, it'd be the other way around. You know. Yeah,
it was it blew me away. And we did the first I think again like very early, like first couple of trains we did. And it's got a single rider queue. Happy to say that. So you can literally get on that thing in a very short amount of time. Nice. And it's just so good. It's so good. And I'll tell you this now. This tells you how much airtime you get on this thing. Like it's an airtime fucking machine, man. Like Emma on her second go was getting bruises from the restraints, which obviously is not. It's obviously a negative if you're getting bruises. But to me, I'm like, that just shows you if you love ejector airtime, like this thing is throwing you around. Like it was just so good. Like, you know, that first drop, and then you do the airtime hill and the outer bank turn or whatever, and then just followed by like element after element. Like it just doesn't give up, and it's just bonkers. And man, like it could be. I need to go back and do Taron. I'll tell you that much, because it was a big contender for overtaking Taron. Just from that, but that feeling I got from it when I did it, it was just it's so good.
I've got a question, Sean. What was that drop like compared to the big ones? Because obviously it's the same direction, it's the same kick.
It's just
is it different.
It's different, man. Because like obviously, for me, like big ones drop is the turn is like much higher up. This feels like it's janky in it, but in a good way. I don't think you could ever like really replicate that big one drop.
No,
I wouldn't say it's like necessarily better or worse. It's just very different. I wouldn't say it's that comparable personally.
Do you go over first before it kicks? Whereas like big one kicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, that's how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we only got 3 goes on that again, because the last hour, I was telling my car about this, but we went, I was like, the last hour of the day, I was like, I'm just going to try and just keep, I was like, single rider queue, we'll just keep lapping it all day at the end because we had a lot of creds to get in. But then they shut the gate. They basically, Walibi Holland, if the queue's less than like half an hour, they'll close the queue line like half an hour before park close.
Oh,
And then they only let pass holders in. So like me and Joe went over, got a single rider queue. Then the rest of our gang were going to come over, and we were all going to get in the main queue just to do one together. And then they couldn't get their last ride. You know, unfortunately, some of the people in my group, their last ride was a Vekoma SLC. So,
oh no!
so I'm glad I wasn't in that. But that, to be fair, it was a cred, and I didn't get that cred. But I can rest easy being like I missed out on a cred to get in like another ride on Kondaa. It's amazing
for sure.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Pulsar, absolutely bonkers, amazing. Like it feels kind of like not that wet. You don't actually get that wet. Wow, I was in the middle of the. I was like, if you're on the outside, you do get a little bit wet. Like quite wet. But if you're like inside, if there's someone shielding you, you don't get wet, or you get wetter on the rapids, which are mental. They're like the 12 boats. They just get that was insane. Like that is how we want it. Yeah, but anyway, I'll carry on. And then I'd say the other standout coaster was Psyche Underground, which is a shuttle loop inside. so
Psyche looks crazy.
It's fucking mental. Like to do that type of coaster inside, it's just insane.
Literally revolution indoors.
Yeah, well, it's more like what's it called? Why can't I think about it? Thunder Looper. It's Thunder Looper.
Oh, right, yeah.
With an LSM.
So you start from the bottom.
Yeah, so you start from the bottom, and then you go, but it's so cool because it's like a rave coaster, so it's proper like pumping music,
Love them,
and it's just like lights going off, and then like you go down, and you do this vertical loop in the dark, but then there's like things going on around you. Man, it's so rapid, it's just insane. Like that took me by surprise at how good that one was. Like, and the best thing about that is the ride hosts, as you're getting ready to launch, they just start clapping. Hey, hey, hey. So everyone the train is clapping, and suddenly you just go off, and then you're just done. Yeah, it's wicked. It's so good.
We need more indoor coasters, man.
More. That's what I said. And come off it. We need more indoor coasters. They make the massive difference.
Definitely. Like
Walking Dead. Now you see what I mean when I say replace Duel with an indoor coaster.
No, I like Duel. I like Park Ride.
It's pointless. It's not big enough. Like you couldn't get one there. It'd be a wild mouse. That's what it would be.
You could have an indoor coaster pretty much
big enough for some.
No, that show building's like a Tesco Express. Like that's what it is.
You could have an indoor coaster at Towers pretty much anywhere, as long as there wasn't trees you have to take down, because it's indoor. There would be no noise complaints. That's the reason Psyche Underground is the way it is because they had noise complaints, so they enclosed it all.
And it's easier to look after as well. And it's indoors.
Yeah. But anyway, that was really good. A brilliant park. Walibi Belgium is really, really good.
Sounds amazing.
It's not. I don't think the park as a whole is up to the standard of Walibi Holland in terms of like the Walibi Holland's got this like music festival vibe, and they do it so well, and everything is like really nicely done. Like there's parts of Walibi Belgium that still need like attention, like given to it.
Sure.
The weirdest thing to see was an Intamin Generation 2 drop tower without an enclosed station. It was very bizarre.
Wow, what? So
you're like walking,
cars going up.
You literally just, it's like, you know, like when you just see like a detonator and it's just all open. But it's like worse than that because it's not like raised at all. It's like on the ground level. So you're just walking past it and you're dead close to everyone on it. And I was like, this is really bizarre to see like it not have a station, like an enclosed station. I thought that was really weird.
Because you used to see Apocalypse so much.
Apocalypse, Hurricane Condor, basically.
Oakwood, I think it's Bounce. I'm not sure. I think it's called Bounce. That's like literally in a pit. Like, that's weird.
But I just think Intamin 2, like they always look better when they're coming out of some kind of state. Oh yeah, they dropped out. But anyway, I think that's where I'll cap that off because we're at 45 minutes and I don't want to.
Mate, that sounded like a hell of a trip.
It was wicked. It was so good. The Vekoma Woody, what Jack was saying was Interesting. I can see why Walibi Holland RMC'd theirs. I'll say that much. Yeah, it wasn't
Robin,
awful. It wasn't absolutely awful, but it was just like a bit janky and ran out.
No need for the common woodies at all.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta check this woody out.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Emma mentioned get up the on-ride photo for Loop Guru. I remember seeing that floating around.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's the best photo. Oh my god.
Was it Joe and was it Emma and Joe?
Yeah, because they were right at the front,
like, just invisible pain.
Yeah, you could certainly tell.
They were right at the front, so they were getting pushed into all the elements. So we was like in the middle. So I was like, this isn't that. I was expecting it to be mega rough, and it wasn't that rough. But I think they had it pretty rough, just because, like I say, I'm gonna share this. Hold on, let us look at the beautiful photo.
Yeah, there is.
For the benefit of podcast listeners, there's a lot of pain on the screen.
It's the best.
That is literally a meme. Like, that is
meme.
What do you mean it's not a cred?
Yeah. But no, really good. Anyway, Luke, how was your Towers?
Towers trip was awesome. ERT on Oblivion, man. That is something special. And the first ride we got on there, we got on the second train out, but we were on the back, and we seemed to hang there for ages. I said this in the vlog, like we hung there for like 3 seconds. And I'm pretty convinced it was like the proper hold. And the amount of airtime, because you hang in there for more than what you normally do. Oh, mate.
Yeah.
It was perfection. Every single ride we had was perfection. It was just so good. It was windy as well. So when you came out the tunnel, you could feel yourself fighting against the wind a little bit because the wind was coming from that direction. But then it died down. But that first ride on Oblivion, I'll never forget that. That was like when I first rode it. It was one of them experiences. It was just so fucking good. The airtime was nuts. I left my seat from literally hanging to coming out the tunnel at the other end. It was that good. It was insane.
That's so good.
I have a weird feeling you're gonna prefer Oblivion to Shikra.
Yo, I've been thinking about this, and I think I'm just gonna love Shikra for it being Shikra, like, because it's a ride that I've been looking at for years, and I think this is gonna happen a lot in America. Like, I'm gonna be vlogging and be like, I've seen this son of a bitch for like, 15 years. I got to ride it now. Yeah, it's great. But then we did a talk. Can't say too much about what was said in the talk, so we weren't allowed to film. So obviously they don't want us to talk about what was said. But it was very insightful. It was with a woman called Kate. She's guest relations there, and told us some interesting stuff, which was pretty cool. And then we went out. We did ride takeovers, Marauders Mayhem. I hate spinning rides, and I got on Marauders, and that was an experience.
I loved your reaction in the vlog. It's funny, man.
Oh yeah,
I'm alive. I did it. And then we just funny story. Everyone was like, "Oh, what we're gonna do? Oh, we're gonna go and do Mine Train now." And I looked at Pizza Pasta and I was like, "There's no queue." Like, I literally was like, "Guys, let's go and get food." I guarantee you, when we come out of Pizza Pasta, they'll be coming off the Mine Train. And I fucking did as well. Like, we got in, we had all our food. I had about 3 or 4 plates as well. We came out and they were all just stood there at the shop. They'd just come off the Mine Train.
Wow.
It was like, what? No way. So it was like, yeah, hi. And I went to Chris at Attractions. So I was like, we've just eaten. He went, what? We've just eaten. Like, we've just eaten and come out.
To be fair, I love Mine Train, but I think I'd rather be spending that time.
I was gonna say
there was no queue.
Carbs,
like, we were literally
man.
Straight up to the till, annual pass paid, sat down, pizza done.
Mate, you got to load up on them carbs for a day at Alton Towers. All that walking, mate.
That's it, mate. You missed out on the Mine Train. Yeah, I know, right? I know that the Mine Train rides with attraction sauce are always legendary. Yeah, but I've done them so many times. So I was like, food, and I was starving. And then we all basically took over Jewel, which was insane as well. That was so much fun.
That's a lie, Emma. It's not the best. It's good. It's good, but it ain't the best. Like,
then we went for a wander in the gardens after that. We were like, what should we go and do? Because the queue times got a little bit mental just at that period of time of the day, and we were like, let's just go and check out the gardens. We needed to go and check it anyway for VTO. We had to go and check out some reference images and stuff that we needed to get. I was like, you know, let's have a walk. And then Dave's fucking brave idea. Let's go down to the pagoda. Okay, let's go down there. And we got down there, and then we're like, okay, now we're gonna go Dark Forest because it's the steps are there. And I forgot how many steps there were, man. Like I forgot how far down that valley is. That valley is far.
Yeah.
It's a hike. It's like Lord of the Rings, man.
Yeah, literally it's like a whole journey.
It really is. And we got back to 13 and we were like, oh, we'll just chill in the 13 queue for a bit.
Yeah.
And we rode 13, had a great ride. 13's running really well this year. When I've been on it, it's ran really well.
I think when it didn't spite you and break down as soon as you
I think it's such a good ride. I initially think
it's so underrated.
I think it's one of the most underrated coasters in the UK.
That drop, I know it's trimmed, but that drop on the back is probably one of the best drops at Towers. Like it's just a straight drop. There's nothing that provides a straight drop at Towers.
I think I was saying in the last episode, like now I've gone like backstage and saw like the elements.
Yeah,
with my actual eyes off right.
Yeah.
Like you don't realize actually how big some of these airtime hills are and the drops.
Yeah,
they're
quite high off the floor,
like,
aren't they?
If people saw that, they wouldn't rate it as bad as they think it is. Because everything seems smaller when you're on a ride. Like I feel like, you know, when you see like a drop and you go on it, you're like, I know if you're scared of heights, it's probably different, but I'm always just like, it doesn't seem like that high up, but I think it's because it's so hidden. People just.
Do you think they should open a path up behind that sky ride and then bring it back to Burger Kitchen?
I don't think.
With a fence?
No, I don't know. I like the fact with 13 that it's hidden. Like I think that's quite rare. It's not great if you want to get photos and stuff of it. I
just feel like that is a little bit of a missed opportunity for Dark Forest theme, and you could extend the area so much just by.
But they probably could. They probably could. I think this room in that like around by 13 to extend it out, so maybe one day we might actually see that, because it would be cool if everyone could see it. But
it'd make the ride seem not as tame, like you say. Like it'd make it seem like, oh, we're going to go on this. Well, Jesus, what I've noticed on 13 actually, when you go in over that drop, people go, whoa, I didn't realize it was this big. Like I've heard people say that on the train multiple times. Like multiple
supports times. The thing is about, I don't know, the supports are ugly as hell though. Like they are horrible. They
could wrap them in vines or something, make them
they need to do something, because I think
they paint them up.
I don't know if like the fact that they were being hidden, like they just like, oh well, let's just make them into just like
just definitely looks like a prototype. Like
it's like a proper prototype. But when I was surprised, because I've never really paid that much attention to the supports and stuff before, but when I was looking at it, I was kind of like, this looks like the ride's just been built. Like they put the actual supports in yet.
The paint in it or anything.
No, it's just literally prefabbed out of Intamin's shop.
Yeah,
but we got on 13. That was great. Came off. We heard the violinist playing. The only Festival of Thrills band I wanted to see, and we got.
It wasn't even the normal violinist either.
Well, it just sounded really cool. Like I loved the idea of it.
But the violinist I've been seeing was not there in your vlog. It was a different woman.
Okay.
Obviously, she's still probably just as good.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, oh, it's just different person.
I did think that actually when I looked back when I was editing, I was like, I'm sure that's not the same person. But like, anyway, we got to the tire at Rita and she just packed up a thing, and Dave was like, wouldn't it be funny if we finished like when we get there?
I really like the Evanescence cover they do on the violin. It works really well on that song.
I heard bits of it when I was in the gardens. Like I could hear it echoing. I was like, this is pretty cool, man. Like you could hear the band in Forbidden Valley. You could hear the Wicker Man band going. You could hear being stood there on that ledge in the gardens. You can hear everything that's going on in the park.
So what did you think of like the obviously you got a little taster of it. Did you think it worked? Was it better than you expected?
I think
it?
Wicker Man's ride audio was too loud for when the bands were playing. For sure. Like it should have been somehow intertwined with the PA of the ride, because I got in the Wicker Man queue and I was like dun dun dun, and there's someone just like playing a violin and playing an acoustic guitar like on stage. I'm like, can't hear them. I can see them, they look great, but I can't fucking hear them.
Was that that was from the queue? Was it?
That was the pinch point where the stage is, which to be honest with great position for the stage where it is, but the pinch point when you come around Costa and then you go into the queue line, that little section there because they were playing folk music, it would have just turned the ride audio off and then you get like into the pit. That's where they could have put the ride audio back on, and you could have really enjoyed it because it's like a Beyond and sort. It's supposed to be like that, isn't it? Like it's a folk village.
Well, yeah, it's like you have the wood band and the fire band. So the wood
fire,
band,
the fire guy with the he was juggling the fire and stuff. He was excellent. I saw some of that. I didn't see anything in Forbidden Valley, and I didn't see anything down by Smiler. But I seen the stage. I thought the stages looked pretty cool actually. They had they had their own little thing about them. I think we went past the Galactica DJ? One. Huh?
You didn't catch the Oblivion DJ?
No, didn't catch him.
Ben's just talking about it in the chat.
We did go down there. Like everyone else went on Spin Jammer. I was just like, nope, not a chance. Like,
absolutely fucking.
We literally got there, and it went. I love the little thing it does, and it goes maximum power. It actually makes it feel like it's a retro squad, like actual robot, like going nuts. And it just goes choo 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 choo. Watching Dave on the vlog, I can't even keep up with my gimbal. Like, it's going that fast. I'm literally just like this.
Yeah,
like behind the scenes, just like that.
So Ben said, I was expecting more for Festival of Fields. They could have at least dressed up the Tower Street a bit more. I believe the reason they've not gone for the Tower Street retheme was they wanted to make it a bit different to the rest of the events throughout the year. They kind of want to make it because everything else used Tower Street for something.
Yeah.
And I think
this one was supposed to be focused specifically on the main
rides, and it's kind of like they wanted to make it almost like we said in the other episode, like it's kind of like a passing thing. It's like just
start a wall of death in CBB.
Could you imagine?
Bad.
So, Ads is saying that you are allowed to talk about what was discussed, just no filming.
Just go to an event. You'll enjoy it. It's fun.
Things like the monorail news is nice, for example. What is the monorail news?
They're going to get rid of the film on the windows.
That is like the best news.
I was so disappointed because last time I rode the monorail, didn't have the film on the windows. And then like this year, I was like, oh yeah, get the monorail back to the car, get to see the park.
Nope.
No.
It's the best monorail ride.
I don't need to hear about anything else that was said.
They didn't say when they were going to do it, but they are looking at it.
It just looks so horrible. Like even the fact that
it's like being on a fucking bus, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not necessarily like obviously it's nice to see out the windows, but for me the worst part of it is the fact it's all been picked away and it's scratched in. I'm like, is that the first bit of thing you want to see when you enter in a park? Like it's not really, is it? Like
no, not at all.
Everything else about the monorails is nice. Like you know, they did the music really nice in there. Like everything, like the trains look good from the outside. It's just that makes them look really tacky and run down.
Do you know what was really cool, right? Someone's kid had asked a question about when's the strawberry monorail going to come back, and for the rest of the day, all we saw on park was the strawberry monorail. I think they literally put it on.
Getting.
Yeah, that was such a nice touch.
Now,
yeah, it's on its way. Today. So that was cool.
Oh, that's some news.
Yeah, that's some news. Yeah.
Waterfalls
are coming back.
Yes, the waterfall situation, that is very interesting. So they're having trouble with the actual. I don't want to give too much away because it was a really good talk. It was they're coming back. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it. Like it's up to Tower Times attraction source if they want to disclose that. But they are going to be coming back. Katanga Canyon in general is going to get some love. The TLC that's been happening throughout the park as well is like I didn't realize half the stuff they'd done. Like apparently they've repainted all of Rita's op cabin and stuff. Like done it up. I didn't notice that. They've repainted a lot in the Dark Forest, a lot of the like the kebab shop and where the lockers used to be and where the gun game is and stuff like that. That's all been repainted up and done up and touched up and everything. I think Rita had a new train painted. So a train painted, sorry, not a new train, but one of the trains painted up and redone.
Rita's getting a third train. What?
Yeah,
what?
Imagine. But I can honestly say though, I don't think Rita's going to be going anywhere anytime like I think
if they're repainting parts of it, then obviously
they see Rita as a mainstream attraction, which rightly so. It eats queues.
I was about to say it still gets sizable lines,
massively. But yeah, so yeah, the waterfall's going to come back at some point. That's what we were discussing before, and yeah, we were saying that some of Rita's been repainted, so that's cool. And some of Dark Forest has been repainted. Dark Forest, this is quote, it's still a work in progress. Like, so I feel like they're not done with the Dark Forest in terms of like what they're going to be throwing in there, or what they're going to be working in there, how to make it look better.
Generally speaking, visually, it just looks very WIP.
Yeah, it does. But they know that. Towers acknowledge that. You know what I mean? And it's good that they do. That. Yeah, it's good that they do, because now they know that, you know, it's an area where they need to improve on. And a Dark Forest, I mean, come on, you're the UK's biggest theme park. Like, you should be able to nail that. You literally have a ride themed on a branch. You should be good at Dark Forest. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like
we've always said that, haven't we? We just like, it needs to be connected to Hex in some way, because it's just so Hex-like.
The forest where the chained oak was from, like, just throwing like a tree of life chained oak in the Dark Forest. Like,
it'd be so cool, wouldn't it? Like,
I
think that would be, considering the actual chained oak is like literally going to be around for probably about a year before it just disintegrates.
Yeah,
it's in such a sorry state now.
I know, but it's one of them, innit? But yeah, anyway, the main event, Yati Nemesis. Oh boy, oh boy, 10 rides in half an hour. Pretty proud of that.
Nice.
And we were getting to the point where we legged it round the first couple of times. Like, I literally ran. Aaron's like, that's the first time I've ever seen him run. Like, I'm like, fuck up, Aaron, I run all the time. It's like, we were just running around and they opened the fast track.
I always run sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes when you're not running. But we get off, you run down the ramp straight to the right. You literally, it's just like a when you see like Usain Bolt running around corners, it's just like this, running around the corner at the fast track, up the steps, in the station, and then wherever we got in the first 3 times, the back row is empty. Now, if you're in the normal queue for Nemesis, the back row is pretty much off limits at the moment. It's for Rat Pass.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, are we allowed? Like, it's like, so we jumped on the back like 3 or 4 times. I got back left, back right, back middle. Then we came back in off one of the back rides and the air gates were just completely empty. And we were like, where the hell is everyone? So we just hopped seats 1 row. So we kind of just like hopped one, hopped back, hopped one, hopped back. And the ride-ups were perfectly fine with that. They were just pulling our restraints. I was like, get back on. There's no one in. Okay, back on. And then we did a front row. And a front row ride on Nemesis in the evening after it's been running all day is something special. It's something special. Oh, it's so good. Like, it was insane. Honestly, it was one of the best experiences I've had. I've VIT'd Nemesis before, but that was with the group of people I was with as well. Like, it was just it was so good. It was amazing.
I need to do that one time, man. I'm just that's when it come out.
They've got an event in August at Towers, and like watch the vlog. Chris says it himself when I interviewed him. He said it's going to be the biggest event they've ever done. So
I'll try. It was
absolutely nuts, man. Nemesis in the evening is
it's the best, man. That's why it's the best in the country.
And it was just running so good.
That's
so
fact. You hear that, Mark Yates? It's the best Nemesis in the country.
Best, the best. It's the best ghost dance down in the country. Sorry.
Yeah, and that's it basically.
You'll hear no disagreement from me.
The bits are in between on the vlog, so if you guys want to go and check it out, it's on my channel. It was really fun. It was great to see everyone from Attraction Source as well. I got Craig on the vlog. Well happy about that. So happy about that. I was like, Craig, let's have a chat. Boy. I was like, yeah. Because I didn't get to talk to him about when we did the attic at Scare Amazing. I brought it up on the vlog. Like, it was just me, him, Joe, and a guy called Josh. I remember now, actually, after I edited it. It was just fucking insane. I had to talk to him about it because he was like, he was kind of like one of the group's leaders, if you know what I mean, during that event. So he would come out and go. So it was like, I wanted to talk to him about it. And yeah, that was cool. It was really cool.
So, talking of Nemesis, let's go over to another good park with a really good B&M invert.
Fuck.
hear me out.
Go. This is the
let him
least.
land. I don't know where you're going, but let him land.
Let's go over to Black Mamba, right? So obviously, there's really sad news has come in this week that Eric Daman, who was like the legendary designer, most well known for a lot of the areas in Phantasialand, has passed away at the age of 58, which is obviously, a massive blow really to the industry, and obviously thoughts go out to his family and everything. So I know that especially McCall wanted to talk about this as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned that he was responsible for a lot of Phantasialand's best work. He's been responsible for everything. Everything at Phantasialand. I was speaking to Christopher Kenny, who posted the tweet. Everything from Colorado Adventure, I think is what he said to me. I know he said that in the tweet, but like basically everything that Phantasialand to be came from this man. Like all the like the insane amount of thematic detail, the verticality of the areas of Mexico, of Klugheim, of Ruckberg, the verticality of the areas, the multi-dimensional sort of feel of each area, all came from. He was the creative mind behind so much of what makes Phantasialand the world-class theme park, elite theme park that it is today. And for me personally, I wanted to just mention this because I have spent I've wanted to visit Phantasialand since around the time Black Mamba debuted, which was I think, if I remember correctly, around about 2006, if not a little bit later, and it was Black Mamba that caught my eye originally because it, like, for the same reason, like, it looked like it looked spent so much time because, like, to my vantage point, and when I spoke to Christopher Kenny about this, I had mentioned to him, like, from I don't know about you guys, but from my vantage point, it seems like how we can now, like, it seems like we're so much closer in terms of the interaction level to the people, to the creative minds who come up with some of our favorite attractions.
For sure.
Like, we know them by name. Like, we know of Greg Hall, we know of G Prodigy, like the mind behind Velocicoaster. We know of the Joe Roadies, the like all of these different industry heads, Alan Schilke for RMC, Joe Draves, like Benjamin for Vekoma, John Wardley. Like, we're so much more able to interact with these people and pick their brains over what goes into these world-class level themed attractions. I had spent so much time wondering who was behind everything at Phantasialand, and it seemed like I couldn't find any information on, like,
hidden away
on the creative team. And like I had just felt like Phantasialand was so secretive about who is behind all of their areas, because whenever a POV gets put out earlier than they want it to, it literally, like, if a POV of something lands on YouTube, it's taken down within the hour. There still isn't a POV of Fly on YouTube. You can't find one. You know what I mean? So
and there shouldn't be.
Absolutely. You should go over there and experience it and see it with your own two eyes. But
I will.
And then, as you will in June. And I had wanted to know who, who were behind these attractions, and like, just the stories, like, they must have of putting these things together. We're talking about, like, almost decade-long project time spans and everything, and to find out who it was only through news of his passing like that hit me in like quite a way when I found out about Eric Damon's unfortunate passing, and like this man's praises need singing.
Yeah, for sure.
For what he's been able to do, because it's not like he's gone like the IP route like a lot of people have. These are completely original ideas and completely, you know, just creative in so many different ways, just execution of super intelligent area design and execution of experiential attractions while incorporating thrill coasters and thrill rides into it as well. How many times do we how often do we see that at theme parks? Not at all. Hardly ever. If an attraction is super well themed, it's usually for a family ride. Like if we're talking about Disney parks and stuff. to see just execution of thematic attractions on this level and the incorporation of thrill rides, it's what I've always wanted to see more of as long as I've been in love with theme parks. And this guy and his team has been at the forefront of it.
Look at that
for so long, and
just look at that picture. Like,
yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Like,
it's when I first went to Phantasialand, I'd only been to like Disney World like the same year, like the start of that year.
Yep.
I went in the summer to Phantasialand. And I remember going there I never thought I'd go to a park that I would say is like better themed than Disney. And Phantasialand is like, it just is. And the fact that it, like you say, Mikhail, it's all original ideas. It's not IPs. It's not based on things. It's like, it's just its own thing. And it's like, pictures and vlogs will never do it justice until you go there for yourself and you see like every little lamp themed up. Like nothing's the same. You know what I mean? There's no like duplicates of things. There's no like, oh, this is a really cool theme lamp, so you're just going to do the same thing everywhere. Everything looks like it's the place looks like it's been lived in. There's just like details everywhere where there's like things that, you know, oh, it's like looks like it's worn down and it's broken, and it's not. It's just the way it's meant to be, you know. And it's just that is in the entire park, you know. And it's like you, Mikhail, I had no idea who was behind this, because it's almost like if you go to Efteling, if you're an Efteling fan, you know that Anton Pieck, the artist, all the stuff is like based on his drawings, and he had a massive part of Efteling. And it's the same thing. It's obviously this guy's style has gone across all of Phantasialand and just created this insane park that like anyone who goes to, I've never heard anyone come out of Phantasialand and say they've had a bad time or they weren't blown away, because it's just impossible. It was way better than I could ever imagine when I went there. I was expecting the most out of it and I come out surprised. So it's it's obviously unfortunate, but I mean, what we have to remember is he represents an entire company in terms of his design studio, and I'm sure, like Efteling has done after Anton Pieck died, they've carried on that style. They've gone, you know, it's that
they'll keep his legacy alive. Definitely,
it's kind of that thing that, you know, Disney apparently, Imagineers always say, what would Walt do? Obviously, that has been lost over time because it's Disney, but I feel like that won't be. I feel like it'll be like Efteling, where they'll be like, okay, what would Eric do? What would he say?
Phantasialand couldn't be further away from being owned by a massive corporate. A corporation who prioritizes profits and stuff.
They don't. They're
still owned by the Loffelhart family.
The way they approach things is when Fly and Taron opened. If they said, "Okay, Taron's going to open or Fly's going to open this date," they would make so much money. But they don't. They just go, "It's open." Do you know what I mean? They don't even
come
make
on down
deal about it. They just do it. They're like, okay, you build it, they will come, sort of thing, you know.
Absolutely, and it works.
It works.
It works.
So that's good. So next up, we have. Well, it's not good. Sorry, it's kind of sad, but it's nice to talk about Plopsaland.
It deserved a mention.
Yeah, it definitely deserved a mention. Shall we get onto the main topic now and leave news for next week, or shall we go through?
Yeah, I think we just talked about what makes a theme park good. Basically, great designers.
Yeah, true that. Because we've got
see you next week. Goodbye.
Let's quickly. Actually,
chat. Like,
you know what? I'm going to go. Yeah, any questions? Right. I'm going to say, let's rally through this news. It's not tangent. We'll just get through this news in like 10 minutes. Right. Go. So, Icon Valid, obviously, we weren't here last week. Icon Valid, obviously, big one. Valid the week before.
Add that to the list over to the Valleying timeline. The amount of rides.
We haven't got time to talk about every coaster that's valid at the minute.
Literally add this to the list of like 700 plus that are valid in the first 4 months of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
It was mad because like when it happened, everyone was going, "It's Enzo trained," and it's like it ended up not being Enzo.
Was it not an Enzo train?
No, it's not Enzo.
It was just Icon. It was
just normal Icon train.
It is Icon.
I mean, it's when I saw where it had like where it had valid, where it stalled, I wasn't that surprised because it takes it pretty slow around there. That's like
they do have a catwalk for that area as well.
Yeah,
it was also an underspeed testing cycle as well.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Like,
but I just love the where they're pushing it with a. You know what? On the last episode, I said, I think it was the last episode or the one before. I said, I just want to see someone pushing a train with a broomstick.
Pushing a train with a stick. There you go.
Stick. And we've got it.
Merry Christmas.
We've got it, man. And what's great about this is when it gets released, all the engineers and they just go, "Hey!" It was good seeing it.
The thing is,
like watching the council work,
it looks like it's being held.
Watching.
It looks like it's being held.
They have. Well, they've got a cherry. They've got a cherry picker here, and there was like ratcheting it in.
Yeah, they're ratcheting it on long. Yeah,
and something gets disconnected, a rope drops, and then away it goes.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you know when you watch them nature programs and they free like a fish or a turtle and they put it in the water?
Well, this is
it just goes wee.
I thought this big thing was like a strap or something, and it just got disconnected and it's released. But then I saw a lot of people saying that it was just a massive stick, so I don't really know what it was.
No, it's a ratchet
the way
strap.
It falls, it's a ratchet strap.
Yeah. No, there's another one. There was another one attached there.
Well, they pulled it through from the front, and then
that's what I saw.
Held it on the back. They must have gone up on the cherry picker and then released it when it gave it enough momentum to actually start to go over.
Yeah. But
anyway, it does. I mean, it does look like an animal going back out into the wild.
It's impressive though, like with their operations at this park. Like you can never say their operations are bad because they are good. Even when they're when they're up against it, like they do their best. I mean, we've all seen Big One going around in like the worst weather, you know what I mean, when most parks would be like, nah. So it's just great to see that, you know, something like this, they've got it up and running the next day. Same with Big One, they got it up and running in less than 24 hours. So
triggers boom.
So yeah, that's Icon.
And
for comedy's sake, it was a broom. Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Yeah, it was. Very expensive broom.
So where's my list? We will go on to SeaWorld receiving track pieces for the new 2023 B&M potentially surf coaster.
I'm going to get to film some construction of that, like what's going on in the area and stuff. That's going to be fun. I haven't got time.
This was shared.
No time.
Yeah, this was actually shared by SeaWorld themselves, wasn't it? When it first was it was just like it was just the funniest thing. It was kind of just like, oh, here's some trees.
We're doing a big landscaping project at the moment.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, that's B&M track.
Yeah, definitely B&M track.
Such a nice colour as well, that.
Yeah, it's lovely. Really, really nice.
That'll complement Mako in the sky so nicely.
Yeah. And there, so yeah, that's it really. We could go into detail about that. But
and we probably will in later podcasts, obviously, when we get more information about it. But
yeah.
Interesting.
And I'm just going to say this is the last topic. Is this come out today? Is Tokyo Disneyland Space Mountain to be reimagined? So yeah, big news, really.
That's happening.
So
2027 it opens. Is it 27? I can't remember what it is now. 2024 it closes and then opens in 27, right? That's what they said.
In 2027.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Memory. Woo.
So yeah, original Space Mountain to permanently close, entirely new version. Don't know.
Guardians of the Galaxy confirmed.
But obviously people are upset about it. But I'm saying that's a sick building. Like that looks.
Wait, people are upset about this? Well, I mean,
that looks like
probably they are.
Should be in the Marvel universe. That's what Marvel campus should look like.
No, we don't. Yeah, it should, but let's not make this Marvel. We've got enough Marvel. As much as I love Marvel, let's not make it Marvel World. It is Disney World. Disneyland.
Let's go. Yeah, no, I agree. But it
looks like an ice cream.
Doesn't
99, man.
It kind of does a little bit as well. It looks like an ice cream ball.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate it. I think it looks great.
It does.
I think it looks good.
I think it looks awesome. I said this when I said
modern.
This when I saw it. Like, I would like more custom Space Mountain show buildings. No?
Yeah, not
like,
just the standard out of the box IKEA flat pack.
IKEA flat pack
this one
Nano
and
Coast.
And Disneyland Paris' Space Mountain show building are easily like
Disneyland Paris. I can't wait to see that one in person. I really can't wait to see that in person.
It's so nice.
So I didn't realize. I didn't even realize that this was the original Space Mountain, like the first ever one. That's not right, surely?
Someone tried to make a sign.
I would have to fact check that. I don't
I
know myself.
So. Can't be right.
I can't remember what year Disneyland opened.
Tokyo Disneyland did not open after Space Mountain.
Yes,
in Florida was open. I'm sure
83 in Tokyo.
83.
Really?
What?
No,
83?
Walt Disney World.
No. The first
was 75.
There you go.
Disneyland in California opened way before Walt Disney World did.
Yeah, I don't think it did.
Let's have a look. Disneyland.
Yeah, it was Disney World. I thought it was Disney World opened.
Apparently,
Disneyland was the original.
Disneyland is the original one.
Disneyland's the original.
Is it?
California.
Yeah.
So when did that open?
RCTV has the Disneyland one in California as 2005.
Yeah, Disney World was definitely first. I'm sure of it. I remember the Imagineering story.
Yeah, the first park was obviously Disneyland.
The first park was.
I was just talking about the park. So
same.
I'm on about. We're talking about Space Mountain.
I know. I know, but I'm just saying. So I don't know when Disneyland's Space Mountain opened.
Original Disneyland. 77.
So Space Mountain
75 for Walt Disney World.
So Disney World was first.
Had it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was the first coaster with like computerized, and it was in Disney World, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It looks the first Space Mountain, Walt Disney World.
So and then this Space Mountain. Okay. So that okay. I was
and that
right
was
in the
the
head
80s. That one originally.
Because I was thinking like, how is this the original one? But yeah. There we go.
It's probably original for the park.
Yeah, but it's a weird way to say word it, because you're saying the original Space Mountain to permanently close, and I was like, was it? But yeah, there we go.
No, that show building looks awesome, and the pathway leading up to it gives me strong Shanghai Tron feeling to it.
That's why I got
the way it curves up to the show building. I really like that redesign. Apparently that plaza in front of the show building is getting expanded. Like the show building is getting moved back, and just the plaza in front of it is getting made way bigger than what it is now. And yeah, it looks really good. And I've seen some photos of the Tomorrowland at Tokyo Disneyland. It is starting to look dated. To see them giving that area the attention and the revamp it looks to need. Obviously, I've never been to Tokyo Disneyland, so I don't know for sure. But
and what's the Imagineering story though on it? And that place is full of culture. That park is it's embedded into it, and it's one of them I'd love to go. Just I don't think I ever will be able to. So it's like,
I think I will get there eventually, because I mean Japan as a country is high on my bucket list of places to visit. So I will get there eventually. I don't know when, but yeah. If nothing else, just to go to Tokyo Disney Sea more so than Tokyo Disneyland. but yeah, Tokyo Disneyland does look to have a lot of interesting attractions over there to look at as well. And I mean, like this Space Mountain revamp it said in the article it was supposed to close in 2024. Like it is slated to close in 2024 and then reopen in 2027. So like it's still a good few years away yet before they even get started, let alone when they get finished.
It's a long time off, so this must be a massive project. Project.
I'm wondering if they're gonna if it's gonna be an entirely new layout on it. Not just because it might be a new cred. Go away. Just like I'm wondering what about it is gonna make it take 3 years. But
a lot. I would say
there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot going into it, and if
whole new massive show building,
whole new massive show building, not in the exact place that it is right now. If it's getting
so the coast is going to have to be different.
It said completely new, and if it's not a one-to-one refit in, like the show building is literally going in a different place. So
that's crazy, man. I can't even imagine being part of that project. That looks nuts, but that render looks beautiful. It looks so good.
So, guys, are we ready for the main?
Can we just mention Yarmangander's train? That dropped.
Yes. So, thank you so much, because it's not on the list, but this is just something I really wanted to talk about, because obviously everyone knows, well, not everyone knows, but most people who watch the show know that I grew up with Drayton Manor, still down the road for me. But this was it was dropped on their website very quietly, but people picked up on it. So Buffalo Coaster, which is like the oldest coaster at Drayton Manor, one of the oldest rides, if not. They quietly put up the updated, which is the renders done by Coaster Gen team. So it's you, James. So Luke, James, Pete, and Dave.
And
Mikey. Have obviously done all the renders, but they've done. Look at this. This is the maddest coaster design. Like there's nothing I've ever seen like this before.
It's incredible.
So like when I first looked at it, I was like, whoa. And then I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we had the same reaction.
I was kind of like taken back by it, because it doesn't look like a coaster.
What you can't see as well, that on the back carriage there's actually a tail to it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a tail to it on the back carriage.
Shout out Reese, who tweeted this as well. He's actually in
yeah.
Cheers, Reese, because I didn't even know this dropped on the website. So like, this is, but to even see that with like Drayton Manor's logo next to it is just absolutely crazy. Go and follow Reese on Twitter. But it was when we first got the concept for this, we were like, huh? Really? Yeah. Okay.
And then we were like, how the fuck is this gonna
how are we gonna model this? It's so intricate. Like you can see like in the render there, like the wood and the finish and everything. Obviously it's gonna be a metal coaster, right? It's not gonna be a wooden coaster, but it just looks so good.
So good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that thing around. Like as soon as that thing starts testing, mate, I'm gonna well up, because seeing that around,
that's gonna look crazy.
Going through the Vikings sign as well, the way they've built the Viking post the post around the Viking sign. Everyone's seen the construction photos, obviously it's been everywhere, but to see that go past, everyone's like, oh, they should have encased it. Nah, I want to see this. I want to see this go over that looks.
Because when we met you at the park, me and Joe were saying, like, it would have been nice to have like a tunnel element there, but now now I know what the train looks like.
This is a spectacle in
to
itself.
See it.
Yeah, definitely.
And that thing does 2 lap special.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's going to be running quite a lot, so you're always going to kind of get that visual as you walk through.
And you've got to think how close it is to 4 as well. The views you get over the lake, like the way it comes back towards Apocalypse, you see the rest of the park, you see people entering Vikings Land, sorry.
That nose is huge.
The nose car is so cool.
It is
so well detailed.
This is getting me more excited.
I really like that.
When I was at Walibi Belgium, they've got a Viking area and they've got a disco coaster.
I was going to ask about this.
Theming. Yeah. Very similar.
They've got hills, haven't they? They've got actual hills on the track.
I mean, it looks so good. I was kind of gutted in a way because I was just like, I hope that doesn't take it away. But I think from what I've seen, Drayton have really made it their own, which is good, which is nice to see. And plus, they've got a Nebulous, so I think that Walibi Belgium. No, sorry, Plopsaland. Same Walibi Belgium is Plopsaland.
I was gonna say, I thought I heard you say Walibi Belgium. I was like, Is he talking about
the whole area that's been designed by Drayton and the things is just arguably going to be one of the best themed areas in the country. Like, it's so good. It's not standard placements. It's people have taken time with brushes to articulate rust on poles, and it's like they're really going into detail with the paint palettes and what they're using, the colors and how they're doing it. It's honestly, we saw the colors, obviously,
tiny little details there.
And the amount of details on top of everything else just makes it spectacular. The guys down there are doing such an amazing job, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be a part of this.
Jack saying aerodynamics though.
So Jack, in terms, normally that would be the case for most coasters, but because this is powered, Jack doesn't have been to Drayton, so he wouldn't know what it is.
Yeah, so it's a Mack powered coaster.
It's a Mack powered coaster, so it's always going to sustain it.
It doesn't like a flying fish. That is probably very not aerodynamic.
Oh yeah,
that thing would be falling fish, wouldn't it?
Runway Mine Train. That's not a very aerodynamic front.
No, it hasn't.
It's the beauty of power coasters, though, isn't it? Is you can get away with these crazy designs like the mine trains and stuff like that. It's you can't really get away with that on anything else.
No, you can't. Yeah. And some of them are the best trains as well. Like the RMT,
apart from actual mine train coasters, but
with the mine train coasters, but I mean they have to have several lift hills.
Yeah, that's the reason why. That's the reason why they have
for no reason.
That's just reminded me, Luke. I need to show you this TikTok account. Okay. Some guys in America have made their own Thunder Mountain in their back garden.
What?
With a launch.
What?
It's mental. I need to show you it.
Yeah, big's this fucking back garden? What?
Yeah, how big
it's like it's a farm. Like they have a.
Oh, fair. Farm.
Yeah, Emily's saying Drayton need another big coaster. They do, man. But I think we have to remember that they've recently only been taken. They got taken over during COVID, and since then they've had the update to Adventure Cove, which they needed 100%. They needed to update that entire area, because if you start updating other bits of the park, like putting in new lands before you've done stuff that needs a little bit of attention, then it's going to feel like a really weird park. So I think it was the right thing to do, was to update Adventure Cove. This area, when we was at Drayton Manor, I know Emily and Matt went recently. When I went the other week, just seeing the disco over the other side of the park by when you're in the rapids queue, you're like, this park feels huge now. It's so mad. What a difference it does.
It does.
That side needed so much more energy as well.
Because it's just a hill, and then you've just got one side is where all the rides are. Yeah, you've got Apocalypse in the middle. Now you've got this whole new area to go and explore.
Balanced it out.
Yeah,
but really I don't know if there's a new coaster coming, but I mean, surely it's heading in that direction, seeing all the updates we're getting. I hope they do. Like, even though I work with a park, I have no idea. Like, you don't get told stuff like this, like that far in advance at all. But
not at all.
I don't know. I've just got a feeling we'll see something. And I like the idea of the relocated Batman ride.
Let's go with that, shall we?
I'll take that. I'll take
just
that.
randomly get some Batman clone.
I'll take that. I'll take the Batman clone, man. Double looping Batman clone. The Batman clone.
Also, correction for earlier, it's a Zamperla power coaster, not Mac.
Oh, it's Zamperla. Is it actually Zamperla? I thought it was Mac.
Well,
no, has it never been Mac? No? Okay.
Yeah, they just changed it, quietly changed it.
Fair. Enzo, coming soon, straight.
Right, guys. So, what makes a good theme park? Discuss. So,
holy shit.
Everything
we just said in the past hour and a half.
Yeah,
Right, night, guys.
Yeah,
me being at the park, that's what's
Is it actually
it's a good theme park if I'm there.
The original thing we come up with was like, we was talking like, what are your pet peeves of a theme park? And I was like, oh, it's our first one back after a week. I don't want to be so neggy and just talk about
cobwebs in Ayers Station.
I hate that. So instead of talking about pet peeves, we're going to be like, but pet peeves are going to obviously come up. Like, it's kind of like, what do you like to see a theme park do? Like, what makes it a good theme park when you go to it? Really. So,
indeed.
I'm going to start off with just saying theming. End of. Let's go. No,
I've got one that's different to theming.
Yeah.
Guest experience and relations.
Yeah.
From
so that's
like, staff. That makes or breaks a theme park.
I'm going to narrow down. I'm going to narrow down slightly on that.
I think I know exactly where you're going to go as well.
And me and McCall were talking about this the other day. Is communication.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what we all mean anyway.
Communication is key.
Like, communication from a park is so important, and it's never been more true than like our experience at Walibi Belgium at the weekend, where there's no time that Kondaa has been told that the queue line is going to be closing. It's just like randomly shut, and if it's your first day at a theme park, we're used to in the UK. When a park closes, that means that's like a universal thing in the UK most of the time, unless there's been something.
The time the queue line is
that's
closed.
The time. As soon as you start venturing to like mainland Europe and then like places in America, that's very different. Every park is very, very different.
Yeah.
So, but that's not a problem if you go to because I've been to some parks. I can't even think, but I've been to some parks in Europe that it tells you on the gate like what time that the ride is closing, and it is different, but it's fine because you've seen it. You've walked past the sign. It's normally by where the wait time is. So that's
Phantasialand does that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's where it was, Phantasialand. Yeah. It's that's a big thing for me, because you could have the best day of your life, but then if suddenly the last thing you are experienced with is someone going, yeah, sorry, only pass holders only now. You're like, what? Like, especially if you flew over.
When you might have been told previously in the day from another member of staff that you'll be able to ride something or anything until park close. And then it comes to, you're trying to queue close something. Now you can't get on anymore.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Like
and then last rides can be the best rides of the day. Like, because you're all together, you're all trying to get on the same ride together. Like, we've all done it on Smiler, last ride of the day. Like, okay, let's all go.
Galactica.
Yeah.
Last ride of the day
was mate, that's
so
Galactica,
good.
The last ride. That was
that one was good.
But I think parks need to remember, like, if you're like, you have your regulars who go all the time, but then a lot of people who are at the parks are people who have one day to try and get in everything. They maybe going somewhere else tomorrow, or they flew halfway around the world to be one day in this park,
literally.
And then suddenly, like, and then suddenly you just close it. Like, it's not good, is it? It's not good, and you've paid money to be in the park and stuff like that, and. I think everyone plans their day. They go, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Done a lot of research into it and know exactly how it goes. And then suddenly they throw a spanner in the works. You try a lot of people, a lot of enthusiasts as well, will be like, they know exactly what they want the last ride of the day to be. If you take that away from them, they're going to be angry.
I think a lot of parks that have these communication issues just really underestimate what effect these kind of little mishaps have on someone's satisfaction.
Yeah.
And like something like this, part of like almost any park's main goal is to secure return visits. That's where so many parks get their like fill their profit margins off of. And one little thing like this that could have been easily avoided with just transparency in your communication, letting people know ahead of time. It can be the difference between, oh, I can't wait to come back here, I really can't wait to come back here, and I might just go to that other park. Not too far away.
Can't be asked for that again. Like,
it literally can come down to like that tiny little thing sometimes with people.
Sure.
And like the parks that really key in on making sure you are as well informed as you possibly can be before you leave the house to go to the park, when you arrive at the park, during your day at the park, and in the last hour or so.
For sure.
Like, during the park, those are the parks that win long term, because not only are you making sure that guests are having not only are you making sure that like you're basically securing the potential of that guest having the best day they possibly can, it's also building just a relationship there between the guest and the people, like the staff members at the park and everything. Like it all keys into, like I said, ensuring return visits.
I think a good example,
season pass sales.
I think a good example of that is like, it's just one example because it's off the top of my head, but it's like if you ride Runaway Mine Train at Alton Towers last, you're getting at least 5 rides. I've done it where I've got 7. Like I think it was like Fright Nights. Blasphemy.
That was when did that happen?
Scarefest.
Come on now.
We did it last, and we got 7 rides on it. It's so funny. And that's just like, and there's loads of examples of parks that do that, and it's just like giving you that like amazing time at the end of the day and something to talk about. I got the feeling at Walibi Belgium, even though it's a great park, we had a great day. None of us come away like sour about it. We still was just like, it was a great day. But if we'd have gone there, especially just say if we just done one trip to Walibi, like we'd spent all that money to do one park, like we'd have been a bit annoyed. And you kind of got the feeling where it was kind of like they was just trying to get you out of the park. It was, that like when you're in a club and it's the lights come on and it's just like, all right, guys, drink up. Right, time, let's go out. It's like it's kind of like you can't because like, but we was looking at it and they'd cleared the whole queue before 6 o'clock, so it's just obvious like that they wanted to get the ride hosts out by like 6. We cleared it by 6, which I guess if like if you're a ride host and you've done that in the past, you're like, well, fair enough. But Walibi Belgium at the minute is open Saturday, Sunday. That's it. It's not open throughout the week. So I'm like, why are you in such a rush? Like, if it's a case of the ride ups, because I hear there's a lot like the ride ups, the ride hosts are tired, they've been on these days. That's the park's fault. Employ more people. Like if they're just on a ride all day, that ain't safe. Like, like give them a break. Like
mistakes will be made.
That's not a good way. Like the operations in Walibi Belgium are very, very good. Like, don't get me wrong, very, very fast, faster than Plopsaland. On Plopsaland, some of the rides were being operated by one person. Like literally, they were the ride host and the ride up. It was crazy. But Walibi Belgium operations were decent. But yeah, like when we were like walking out the park, I was seeing some of the ride ups just walking out with us, and I'm like, "This is mad." I was like, "I know you're tired, but like, it's annoying anyway. It makes you feel like you're not really appreciated." And I think that's the problem with some of these parks. They just rest on the laurels. They don't think we're global, they think we're local. And I think it's just that mind frame of like, we're a local park. It's like, no, you're not. You've got Kondaa in the park, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why you've built it. But maybe like the management or whatever, just in that mind frame of that.
I get that same vibe from Flamingoland.
To be honest, I have heard on I can't remember what podcast it was on. I can't remember. Just about some things to do with Walibi Belgium's operations, specifically on Kondaa. With I don't know if you happen to see this, but with their, I don't know what they call their fast pass service. I don't know if they have a specific name for it or anything.
Yeah.
But people that, and this might have changed from when I heard it. It was a while ago that I heard this, but they were like the people who had bought the people who had like their fast pass system were able to then choose where they wanted to sit on the train.
Yeah,
and
I
that kind of irked me a little bit, because if it's just my opinion, if you have fast pass, if you're able to use fast pass for a ride, you shouldn't then get to choose where you want to sit. You're already skipping the queue. You're already skipping the queue line.
Yeah, Portaventura do that. Portaventura, which was great for us when we last went, because we got it included in our like hotel package, was fast passes.
Yeah,
but like, it's almost like the only way to guarantee like a front or back row ride on Shambhala was like having that fast pass, because it's not like oh, it's stated in it, but at the end of the day, like the fast pass people are given first pick of the road they want to go on. So like we're letting first, and we're like, I'll go in that one. Obviously, I'm going to go front. I'm going to go back. And you've
not got a chance.
So you've not got a chance. So I agree. It's nice when it's the other way around, but for most people, you know, if it's your local park, for example, that must be so annoying. Like the fact that you're not going to buy fast passes every time you go to your local park, are you?
No.
And if you just like the first time I went to Porto, we didn't have fast passes, but thankfully we went in the week and it was fine. But at the weekend, it's bad. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's really bad at the weekend. Don't go at the weekend.
It's so bad. It's like hell.
Stay at a hotel. Go to the beach.
It's like paradise in the week. It's so nice, but like the ops just fall apart. Operations fall apart at the weekend. People have been saying like like a bit of debate in the.
I was about to say some people are giving some good suggestions, definitely.
Because like people are saying like so. Portland's having Emily's saying Portland's having no fast track was great. The park works so well. So this comes back to, I want to quickly, because there's other things I want to talk about. It's not just like guest relations and stuff, but
Matt had mentioned parking. I want to touch on that as well.
Yeah. So you've got like with Portland's is a great example in this country of not having a fast pass, and it works great. And the reason for that is that there's no like heavy discount online. For getting a ticket is all one price, and there's a great article that was published on Blue Loop, and it was by, I can't remember the author's name, but it's someone who works at attractions.io who do the apps for all the parks like Alton Towers and everywhere like that. And they were just comparing like two different models. Like the old model, which a lot of parks still run on, is cram as many people into the park as possible, offer 2-for-1s, just get as many people in there, and then you just upsell them on food and stuff like that. So it's all based on that. That's where fast passes fall apart, because people get there, loads of queues, people buy pass passes, it takes over the normal queue. It's kind of an old model, whereas you see Portland's thing is it's a higher gate price, no fast passes, hardly any queues. Like every time I've been to Portland's, it's been so smooth sailing. It's been great.
That's interesting.
There's a lot of European parks like that as well that do not offer fast passes.
And this actually feeds into the point I'm about to make. So this is cool.
The reason it works is because there's a higher gate price. You haven't got every single school kid in the area all going at once. Clogging up all the, that's the reason it works. So it comes to that kind of thing where we've got some theme parks in this country that is with a 2-for-1, it's £25 to get in. Like, yeah, it's great when you're skint, But if I'm visiting another country, would I rather say I'm going, because we're going to Hansa Park soon, and we're going to Hansa Park. Would I rather pay £25 and then have to upgrade to a fast pass to get everything done in one day, or would I just rather pay like £40 and know that it's going to be okay and I'm going to get everything in? I'd rather pay the upcharge and have a better overall day, personally. I know it's not great for everyone who's got not that much money, but I don't know. It's the catch-22, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. And to go into Matt's point, I'm going to link this together. Well, he had mentioned free parking. It's a real sting for guests if they're leaving Impression Nova Park, is having to buy an overpriced parking ticket and then queue for ages to get out. And that's another thing. Like you had mentioned there being a really cheap entry price, but then having to pay for things like, like seemingly overpriced parking, fast pass tickets, locker rentals. Locker rentals.
Fucking big one.
Really seemingly steeply priced on-ride photos, stuff like that. It all just, like, it's all well and good having a really cheap entry price and stuff, until you then start making your guests feel like you're just money grabbing at every chance you get.
Yeah.
And I personally, and I think a lot of people would agree as well, like you had said, Sean, I would rather pay a higher entry price, which then in itself covers all of these costs that you otherwise would
end up paying in the end anyway.
Get out of people through all of these little things. But then everything else feels like
normal.
Like it's just not money grabbing. Like everything else is already included, and you don't feel like the park is pulling money out of your pocket the entire day.
I feel like sometimes theme parks are kind of like service stations. They know that you've got no option, or like a train station, you've got no option. You want a bottle of water, you're paying £2.20 for it. Do you know what I mean? That's it. You've got no choice. But if they hike the price up of the entry, that stuff can be considered. All that other stuff can be considered.
Especially with some parks with their locker policies as well. Like some parks, they don't give you a choice. You have to put your stuff in a locker. And if you're making me put my stuff in a locker, don't make me pay for it.
No.
If that's your point to ride, then
that's such a big thing in America, isn't it? In American parks,
I'm ready for that.
Especially at the chain parks.
Yeah. Well, Sam said it's a good idea, but could outprice some families. And that is the risk, isn't it? Really, like when I was younger, like we could not afford to go to Alton Towers as a family. We just couldn't do it, and it's. But we could, but we ended up going to like Tenerife. Do you know what I mean? Like to other options, not just a theme park. So it's kind of like it could outprice them, but most people are choosing between the two. And maybe that's the concept we have to have, because every European park I book onto, and the ones I've done in America, they've all been like minimum 35 to get in, 40, like even higher. But they're just operated better. They're just operated a little bit like more, like you say, it's not even operated better. It's just there's less people on park, so it feels like you're having a better day. That's just that's it.
Less pressure on staff.
I was just gonna say, but less pressure on staff. They're in a better mood. But also, I would say, like they could offer like concessions. So students, if you've got a student card or something like that, like they can get in for a better price. So you're still getting in. Like I don't want to outprice students either, because if you're a student, if you hook someone in, you might have them for life. Then that's the same as me when I started going to Alton Towers as a student. Like I started going all the time. And then like if you are someone who wants to go all the time, you don't have. It's like Pleasure Beach. It's like that's why I got a season pass, so I could go all the time. I'm not going to pay. I can't afford to pay £40 every time I want to go to Pleasure Beach. No. I knew that, so I just saved up and got it. So
another I was gonna.
Do you think a wristband system would be cool, like old school BP, or like a white knuckle band for the coasters, or a band just for family rides? Just spitballing here. I don't think it would. only because
depends on the park.
It depends on the park. Yeah, like if it's somewhere like
I think Adventure Island does it still.
Yeah, like Adventure Island or tokens and stuff like that. That's great. But like you've got to think where the reason like Pleasure Beach, for example, stops doing like you could just walk into the park is because they had the amount of people they had to kick out, like stag do's,
just
hen do's, like not even going on rides, just hanging about there, like youths, like you know what some of us were like when we was younger, like just bad vibes.
I still see that shot from the 90s program where it showed the bridge just fucking packed. So I'm surprised it didn't all fall into river caves, man, that night.
Like you don't want a park to become like a walkway, like people are just going through the park to get to another, like to get to the other side of it. That's what ends up happening with wristband type of parks. Is like
it was great, but at the same time you think, look at the effect it's had on the attractions, like and look at it now. You know, you've got Icon. Like you couldn't have that if you had people walking through there.
Yeah,
you know,
it works for, like you say, it works for some parks, but I think if you're trying to go for like a whole day experience, like you need to have, when people pay to get in somewhere, they're appreciating it. You know what I mean? They're there to appreciate and they're there to have a good time, not just like to hang about and be like, I'm just going to go in the arcades. You know, like.
Mark's just made a good point. Do you think Black for Pleasure Beach should bring back the non-rider pass? I absolutely do, because like if I go with my mum and dad and my missus, like my mum's not going to go on everything. You know, my missus isn't going to go on everything. So it's
every park should have a non-rider
pass. Yes, without a shadow of a doubt.
Because it should be a family experience. If you want like elderly people in your family to come along, and they're happy just to stand there, watch everyone on rides, hold bags, go get people food, like they just want to help out. Like that's a big
day out and have fun.
That's like a big part of my memories growing up, was like going with the whole family. People don't want to go, even like small rides, people don't want to go on them. So 100% need to bring that back.
I was gonna touch on one that I had thought of earlier when it comes to intelligent park layout design. So I think this is much more important than people, than the amount that people talk about it, because this can go a lot into someone's experience of a park as well.
I agree.
I am typically a person who doesn't mind walking a lot when it comes to parks, and I don't mind.
It's part of my gym workout.
Same. No. Literally same.
It's my only workout.
And I am of course like I draw a lot. I take a lot of photos. I like a hilly park, right? I like a bit of multi-dimensionality to parks and stuff. But a lot of people don't like, and a lot of people like to feel like they don't have to walk. In like for like a million miles to get to one thing that they want to ride, or they don't they like to feel like they don't have to necessarily go in an opposite direction in order and then turn back on themselves in order to get to another area of the park. There are parks like and these are just sort of like isolated examples, but like parks like Busch Gardens Tampa and Dollywood, for example, their parks layouts are like, they're almost like massive triangles, and it's like you can't get, if you're like, use Busch Gardens Tampa for example, if you're over in if you're over at Montu for example, and you want to get to maybe Shikra, like you basically have to go around like the whole outside edge of the park to get to like Shikra and Tigris, and maybe even like over on that side to get to over there, or likewise, or like conversely, if you're over on that side of the park, it may be a case of you have to go up to the top where Kumba is to then come back on yourself to maybe get to like Falcon's Fury, like over in Pantopia and stuff like that. I may be a little inaccurate with, I'm just trying to go off the top of my head, but like things like that and sometimes it can't be avoided because of the topography of the land that the park sits on and stuff. Like at Dollywood, it's kind of hard to avoid because it's in a literal valley, but
like same as Towers, isn't it? Really, like
exactly. Yeah. But like just being able to craft a park layout as intelligently and efficiently as you can, I think is important. And I think a great example of that is Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Actually, it's all in a circle, and there are pathways like that basically cut through the circle, and you can take shortcuts to different areas and stuff.
Well, isn't it the what's it called? It's like the spindle. It's like what Disney kind of.
Oh, the hub and spoke.
Yeah, hub and spoke. That's it. Spindle. But yeah, it's that kind of thinking in it where it's
bit
like
of Midlands there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not even Midlands, man. I don't know what that was.
Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, true. But no, it's that. It's just thinking about like how you can just get to places very quickly rather than doing the whole lap around.
Yeah. One park I hate for that.
Yeah.
Like
even though it's so small.
Swarm Island, the pathways aren't that big anyway.
Yeah.
Swarm is a very popular ride. Why have you only got one access path to that entire island?
Yeah.
And if you're at Stealth, you have to walk all the way around the park to get to the Swarm. It's literally next to it. You could put a bridge there.
Yeah. Should have a little ferry there at least.
Someone else did the should have put Exodus where Tidal Wave is.
I should have one of them poly bridges. You know, you see them in some parks. Across the water.
Yes.
That would be sick.
Yeah. And it's like
but yeah, it feels like Thorpe have tried to do hub and spoke from the dome.
Very, very
because
small,
it
like
does
it
does have spokes coming off of it.
Yeah,
but it doesn't work if you don't have the hub centered
in the middle. Yeah,
it's
a very weird. It's a very weird.
Buckled wheel more than the hub and spoke.
Yeah. It's like
and it's like that. I suppose like when you have a park that gets like very busy very easily as well, like pinch points become a thing as well, and like and
so bad.
Like Chessington is horrid.
Oh, Chess. Oh, yeah, it
Chessington World Adventures is horrid. Like the thing is it's tricky to find a balance because like the places in Chessington World of Adventures where like can get like become pinch points and bottlenecks for crowds and stuff. By Vampire and down by Scorpion Express, is it?
Yeah,
down there as well. Visually speaking and aesthetics wise, I love the look of those areas because like where the sight lines kind of all meet at one point, and it's like I like that.
Yeah, I do.
I was gonna
in terms of thematics, like those work, but those in terms of how they look, but operationally wise and logistics wise, when you're trying to have like guest flows, always moving, it can be tricky to get balance of that.
But if you but then again, like sometimes that adds to immersion. Like with Chessington, for example, I kind of like the fact that you kind of get lost a little bit and you're kind of like discovering places all the time. And if you look at like we were talking about earlier,
when you're surrounded by crowds, though,
yeah, but is that a crowd issue? Is that crowd issue again? Like thinking about what we was talking about with like the price on the gate and 2-for-1 office and stuff. Is it that? Well, it might not even be.
Okay. I see the point. I see the point.
It might not even be that. You know what I mean? It might just be. It might just be that Chessington is, as we all know, a park full of very low throughput rides. That's what might be.
That too.
Do you know what I mean?
That contributes to it.
That does contribute to it massively. If you've got like good rides that have got high throughput rides, for the high throughput levels, capacity, then that's kind of getting away with that a little bit. Because if you look at Phantasialand, like we was talking about earlier, that is a pretty difficult park. There's a lot of
narrow path. There's
a lot of cul-de-sacs.
I know what you mean, though.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like for example, like where Black Mamba is, there's basically one entrance and one out. You can go over the bridge, but then you're the other side of the park, which is a bit random, and it's still quite a long way around. And even like where Chapas is as well, like that's a bit crazy because it's such a random path that takes you through and out of it. So sometimes it can work and sometimes it can't work. So I think
I think one example of a park that just took advantage of crowding and bottlenecking issues so well is Islands of Adventure. When they opened Velocicoaster and they opened the Hogsmeade, the bypass bridge that takes you that takes you away from Hogsmeade.
So where does it go from? So what?
So it literally like it goes from the top of the Lost Continent.
Yeah,
goes through the Rose Bowl helix of Velocicoaster over to Velocicoaster's.
So it cuts out Hogsmeade completely.
Cuts out Hogsmeade.
Oh wow! So that's a big bridge.
Yeah. So like it literally goes to Velocicoaster's entrance plaza, and then then to the right from there you have the pathway that goes up to Jurassic Park.
I didn't even realize that.
It cuts out Hogsmeade completely. Hogsmeade still gets that
Hogsmeade was
that bottlenecking issue because it's Hogsmeade, because it's Harry Potter.
But
it still has that issue. It still gets rammed in there.
But that was going to be another one of my examples. Was Islands of Adventure, where you're basically just walking around a big lake, and if you're in the wrong spot, it's a big long walk. And it's kind of similar to Epcot in that way. It's the fact that it's just one big circle.
Yeah. Don't you think with Islands of Adventure though, like I've never wanted to go from one specific place in Islands of Adventure to another and had it feel like it took a hell of a long time to get over there.
But that's probably because we like we said earlier, that's probably because we like
walking.
I love going through the different areas. I love it. Like that. Joe sometimes like curses me for it because when we're at Towers, I'm like, I don't want to get the Sky. I don't want to queue up for the Sky Ride. I want to go and walk through. There's so many different ways in Towers, for example, to get to different areas where it's like it never gets boring for me. I understand not everyone likes walking, but I enjoy it. Yeah. But I think for some people, like seeing it from our family's perspective, Islands of Adventure, it was long for some of the people in our family. They was just like, the heat and the humidity, and they're like, oh my God, like just walking along like that. And especially if you've got smokers in your group as well, they just want to get to the nearest smoking area. So I don't know. It works. It's a weird one then, but I guess that's a good example really, because that, like what you're saying, it is a good idea, but I think it only really works if you're building a park from scratch.
Yeah. And like there's a balance to be found.
And you can still make a park immersive, because I think Disney do really well. Like the Magic Kingdom is like the most Magic Kingdom, all the Magic Kingdom parks is like the kind of big example of that working really well, where it is that hub and spoke design, but you still feel like you're going on an adventure. And everything still feels very immersive. So
one of the things with that, though, you've got to realize is that to actually get into the park, Disney has so many different ways where we genuinely have one car park, one express parking system. That's it. So it's like, and I think they're all designed to come in one area and go out from one area and then go out again, which is why it works so well for Disney, because the amount of people they get through them doors is just ridiculous.
Oh, by the way, Matt's Porto at the minute.
Oh, cool. Nice.
He's had a really good time.
Oh, is he literally at Porto Ventura?
I think he's still there. He's still
there. It's like 11
he's
p.m.
at the hotel now.
He's over.
Say hi to Shambhala for me, please.
Yeah, such a great.
Give Dragon Count some love as well. It deserves it.
But yeah, so like that's a good idea as well. Like you say, like design of a park. I'm just like on the topic of theming. For me, it's just attention to detail. Again, is what I like to see.
Not off the shelf stuff.
Not off the shelf stuff. The the less final, the better. Normally for me, like even when it comes down to signs, if you can have a 3D designed sign rather than just a flat like bit of vinyl, I think it makes the world of difference. That's a big one for me.
When it comes to theming, my thing is like, do things make sense? Like in terms of visual and scenario based theming and presentation, do things make sense in conjunction with each other? Like that's always something that sticks out to me, and to be able to notice things that really, like, they don't explicitly like explain like the scenario, but it's kind of like when you listen to a song, and like it's not necessarily like the person singing or rapping or whatever isn't necessarily just telling you a story, but just giving you the sort of imagery and just putting you in that scenario. I think like theming at a theme park, when done properly, does the same thing. The best example I have is Silver Dollar City.
The whole park makes sense.
The entire park, literally, like, it's all like the Silver Dollar City does actually have
not right.
Well, like, it has like different themed areas, but they're all consistent with each other. They're all consistent with each other. They all make sense with each other within the overarching scope of an 1800s Missouri city, or like small town Midwestern America. Like, they all make sense together, and there are like signs of just like different things, different building signs that all play into just that imagery of everything that you're seeing and everything that you're thinking about while you're there. One thing that I think really contributes well to that is like the show buildings and facades for certain rides and stuff, and certain coasters. Where you would expect a big sign for the ride or ride logo to be, it has the name of the building. It doesn't have the name of the ride. It has the name of it has the name of the building. So you really feel like you really feel like you're in this town. And then once you get closer into it, you may see like the name of the ride that's just a bit smaller, like underneath the main building sign. And it makes it feel like you're not at a theme park. It makes it feel like you're just in a town that happens to have rides. And I love that that's one of the things I love the most about Silver Dollar City, and it's scenario, but
so unique,
visual storytelling, storytelling imagery in that way, when done properly and done creatively, makes a whole world of difference.
By the way, Matt, does anyone know what Nickelodeon Street Station ceiling is like? I don't think I've ever looked up.
It's just metal, isn't
it? That's the joke then.
I think it's literally just metal. It used to have some stripes on the front of it on the building when it was roller coaster, but
by the way, guys, we're going to get onto theme park food soon, because I know that Ben is talking about that, so I'm going to get onto that in a minute.
Yeah,
sure.
I did want to.
This was always going to be a long episode.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
3-0, man. Can't escape it.
On that comment though about Silver Dollar City having like a kind of a universal language in a way, I guess what you could call it, like a visual language across the entire park. Like, that's the same way I try and explain Efteling to people, is that these different, they're like, you don't necessarily have at Efteling like each area is like highly themed to like a Western or space, or it's kind of like Efteling. It's weird.
Efteling.
But it's kind of like its own little thing.
Yeah, it's like its own world. It's like its own world. And everywhere you go, you're like, this is Efteling. Like every place you go,
into a different part of Efteling's world.
Yeah. It's like its own, it's like its own country or something.
Yeah,
it's like the visual style of the buildings are very similar to each other. Sometimes you go, it's almost like you're going to different countries in this fictional world, and they just do it so well.
World building.
Yeah, it really is. And the amazing thing about Efteling is it's been going since I think it's like the 70s or maybe even before that. It's been going before that. I don't know when it opened. But even the stuff from when it first opened still looks the same as like Baron. Like Baron still has got that visual language of something that was made like 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's just what people love about it. And that's what keeps like the fans happy of Efteling, like the local people. You know, it's amazing.
Speaks to the culture of the area.
But then you've got like, okay, just because we've been talking about Phantasialand, I wouldn't necessarily say them worlds go together in that way, but it's different because for me anyway, when you go into like a little pocket of an area in Phantasialand, it feels so different to everywhere else in the park, but it's kind of enclosed, so it gets away with it.
Phantasialand feel like a different theme park.
To me, it does.
Yes,
to me, it
absolutely it does.
And
that's the vibe I get from it.
And that adds into it. But they've made it so different. But every area is highly themed down to the you know, so it can work. It depends what park you're in, I guess.
Yeah.
That if you're going to go down that route, like Rookburg compared to Klugheim could not be more different. You know, it almost feels like with what I've seen is because obviously I've not been there since Rookburg has opened, but Rookburg probably looks like a future version of Klugheim because like Klugheim's very like industrial but in a wooden way, but then you've got Rookburg which is very steampunk-esque. But then you go to
Klugheim is just super rustic, isn't it?
Rustic,
like in terms of the architecture of the buildings in there and the fact that everything seems to be rooted in the rock walls around it, whereas Rookburg is obviously much more industrial, but like not just industrial to be industrial, like it's moody, it's like it's
steam, you got like there,
and you can hear steam popping out of pipes and chimneys that you can't even see and stuff.
And in Rookburg it amazed me the fact that they've got like grates in the floor that just steam just like comes out of. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm like that is just
so cool.
Genius, man.
That's like a movie set, isn't it?
Yeah,
little things like that make you feel like you're not. I didn't feel like I was at Phantasialand standing in the middle of Rookburg.
No,
I didn't.
That's interesting.
Like I didn't feel like I was in a theme park. I mean, me and my friend Tom have said this a bunch of times since we come back. I was like, how many times did we look at each other and say, I forgot we were at Phantasialand?
Yeah.
like it's I always say it feels like you're standing in the middle of a set for a Netflix originals show.
That's how it feels. Well,
that's what it feels like.
Yeah, from what my experience anyway. Like iCoaster said, I love Phantasialand because of variety of theme, and you step into.
Yeah, we've hyped Phantasialand up today, haven't we?
But to be fair, you cannot overhype that park. You can't overhype.
You're not helping my impatience.
Oh my!
It's just so good. It's that good. It's just amazing. But so yeah, coming down to theme park food, it is an important thing.
Yeah.
I found that out being in Belgium was because being a vegetarian, I know it's my choice. Like, so I don't get annoyed about it because it is just being awkward. But when you go from being in like the UK where it's like almost like a fad to make like vegetarian food and plant-based stuff to then go to like Plopsaland where your literal only options are chips and they only sell them in one part of the park or waffles. Like couldn't even find like a cheese sandwich. Like it is ridiculous. It kind of was a bit annoying that I was having to live off chips. And it does bring it down a little bit. But saying that, Plopsaland, like in the medieval area, they had these like I don't eat meat, but like there's literally grilled sausages, barbecued sausages, flame grilled and whatever. Smelt so good and added to like the medieval experience.
Yeah,
there's a lot of parks where the food that they choose to make in them areas makes a big difference. Again, in Efteling, they have like the pancake house, and you go in there, and it smells of pancakes. It's really nice, but it makes a big difference. Like if you're just being served crap food in a theme park, it makes you again feel like underprivileged because you're like not undervalued. Sorry, not underprivileged. Yeah. Undervalued, underprivileged. Makes you feel like it does make you feel undervalued because you are, no matter what theme park you're in, you are paying over the odds for food, and then when you're given something that is just not nice. Like you just kind of like, oh, I've just paid like ridiculous amount of money for like nothing. And I think I personally don't think the UK parks do a bad job of it. Personally, depends which one you go into. There's always like Drayton, for example.
Restaurants, fantastic.
Rollercoaster restaurants.
Like the variation though, but at some like just within the park itself.
Yeah,
in the UK can be crazy.
Yeah, there's like no consistency.
Yeah, like you go to one like stall that's selling the exact same thing as another part of the park, and it's just completely
Which one hasn't
different.
got a queue? That's the one you choose.
Like, yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Can we take a moment to remember the honey mustard dressing, please? Top for Toy saying, yeah, it was pretty good, man.
Can you pull up Ben's comment after that? The one about if you look at Orlando vloggers, they base most of their vlogs around food in the parks. You can't do that in the UK. He's spot on. Like I try to include as much food as possible. I've not done it in the last couple of ones, but obviously when I get out to Orlando for that very reason, there will be food reviews. But like, it's just the same. That's there's no difference between pulled pork and pulled pork. Like that's it. You know, that is it. If you have it in the roller coaster restaurant, if you have it at Woodcutters, if you have a burger at Woodcutters, it's going to be the same that you get at Secret Garden. There's only so much you can review. They don't do enough.
Well, this is why I liked the this is why I like the events that they're doing, because they bring in
things.
You're getting different. I mean, I know it's expensive.
Yes.
It is expensive. There's no denying
it's expensive at Disney though. It's expensive.
Yeah, it is
Universal.
expensive. Really expensive. But like,
I think Universal just takes it out of the park with their churro stand though.
Oh, for sure.
Second to none.
That top hat churro. That's something else.
Yeah. So Matt's saying Merlin do well with food. Just wish it make more where you get discount. Yeah, it is difficult.
That as well.
Yeah.
In a Merlin park, why do you based in a Merlin park? I get
it's only
KFC in that.
Yeah.
Not doing it, but the curly fries that was in Loggers Leap area.
Oh, was that not?
Oh, no,
because it's normally
not run by Merlin, so you don't get this.
You
don't look
about
like
that,
you're not run by Merlin.
Yeah.
Why don't I get a discount there?
Yeah. Eastern Express as well at Towers. They have their stall in Mutiny Bay and in Dock Forest. And
that's good tier food right there.
And it's good. It's good. They do good chips, but obviously it's not run by Merlin. So
no.
I wonder what's going to happen with that Americ thing. Like, I feel like there might be something in there where they don't want other people in there.
Maybe
maybe
it's a good thing, man. Maybe we get more discounts and stuff and more value for our pass.
Digital Dan just coming in and out. How you doing, boo?
Hello.
I'll just say one thing about food. Well, not broadly about food, but just one specific thing. Shout out Drayton Manor for their loaded fries that they just put out there on Twitter that they started doing loaded fries. They look really good, and I bring that up because, dude, why isn't every park in the UK doing that? Why isn't every park doing loaded fries?
Yeah.
That is a cheat code for theme park food.
Yeah,
it is.
You can put damn near anything on loaded fries, call it loaded fries, and away you go. It doesn't have to be some fancy intricate thing, but you can just put a variety of different things on loaded fries, and it tastes so good, like almost every time. Every park in the UK should be doing that. Every single.
By the way, I got when I tweeted, because I was just there. I just nipped into Drayton Manor at lunch, as you do.
Open your back door and walk into your garden.
But I didn't realize how much they actually do there. So they do the loaded pizza fries, the loaded beef chili.
They have loads.
loaded
nachos
chicken
now.
curry fried. Yeah, loaded vegetable chili fries, and then they do loaded nachos and loaded beef chili nachos. So like that's a good variety, and like you say, Mikhail, it literally is as simple as that. Like that is an easy win.
It's simple variety. It's easy win.
It's down by Shockwave, right, Sean?
Luke, that's a layup.
Yeah, it's where
that is a layup. That's great layup as well.
You know where the chicken place is?
Yes.
It's like there's a hatch on the side where you can get it. It's like if you go if you're approaching it from the front, you go around the side. You know where the play park is, Alton Towers. It's on that side of it. There's loads of seating around there. But if that hatch is shut, you can go inside and order that as well. So there's still
okay. So you can still get loaded fries from inside.
Yeah, if the hatch is closed, you can still go in and get it.
I think I think literally parks in the UK, if they named their food to their ride attractions, like it'd feel more grand than what it is. Like if you had like the Nemesis burger, for example, if you had
like what Roller Coaster Restaurant do, but park wide,
Oblivion chicken, like kind of stuff, like the vertical drop ice cream, something or other, just go to town with it, like cursed nachos, hex. Just do you know what I mean? Just try and be like, okay, now we're gonna try the cursed nachos.
It's got to be an actually good offering, though. You can't just slap a name like that on something and just expect
Nemesis donuts is the best example ever. The best donuts are the best donuts.
But they're just normal donuts, though. They could do something different.
They're just
spicy donuts.
Yeah, when you're in Forbidden Valley and you've got them nice warm donuts, and you're watching Nemesis go around. It's a good feeling, man.
I think not just Merlin parks, but I think UK parks as a whole.
To be honest,
I think
Rita's tarts.
Rita's tarts.
A Rita tart.
That's genius.
Oh, you've got to be careful saying that.
Yeah.
Oh.
The onion rings are great, man. Don't just do onion rings.
I actually, do you know what? I've not been in Burger Kitchen for ages, and Aaron went in when we went. We had a little break during the vlog. We weren't vlogging in there, but I didn't realize how much they'd done up inside Burger Kitchen, like all the artwork and stuff around the side.
Oh, really? I've not
really
good. That. I haven't gone in a while.
Like new photos and stuff in there. It was really cool.
Yeah. I think what I'd like to see most, I wouldn't, not just UK parks, but most parks is. They could learn something from Universal and Disney. I think they could literally. Are we just gonna?
Oh God!
Smile.
Oblivion's lobster thermidor.
Yeah.
I think we just give Ben a lot of material for his bits. Like,
there we go.
Imagine if theme parks named their food after the ride.
That'd be niche for his
Sean,
wouldn't it?
It would be perfect.
Sorry, in brackets, not sorry, to bring it back to Fantasyland, but did you ever have the jambalaya in the deep in Africa area?
No, man, but I kept hearing about it and I couldn't find it. I was looking for it everywhere.
Dude, it's right on the other side of the pathway from Black Mamba's entrance. It is so good.
I know Harry from Coaster Bot was raving about it. He said it's like
he couldn't stop going on about it. I was just like, yo, I'm finding this shit the next time I go. I found it, had it a few times. I'm not gonna
Is it good? The Fantasyland food is good. My
the restaurants are expensive though. It's a cheaper option. It's a cheaper option.
The fast food,
the
quick serve options are really good. The Chinese area,
yeah,
it was like proper Chinese food, man. It was so good. I like Chinese food, so that's what I was eating. But
I've also heard there's a little stand that does bratwurst near like the main entrance for Fantasyland.
Yeah,
and apparently it's like a tiny little bun. And then just bratwurst that's like
stupid long sausage,
half a meter long hanging out there.
So Dan saying I might be wrong, but did Finn's now Infinity Bar? I mean VR5s do ride base food in a soul burger or something. Yeah,
part vibes, food vibes.
I never realised that.
Drink vibes.
You saying they did, Luke? They did.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
But like. They should do like a Nemesis, like
icons, vampires,
Oh, these cool. I love these. These are awesome.
Okay, I like that.
That is cool.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
Cool, man. I like vampires. Let's try some vampires, man. That sounds nice.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
But no, I'd like to see UK theme parks going down the route of literally like themed food, but not just like on rides, but like literally bringing in different dishes throughout the season. You know, that's
Switch
what Disney do. That's what Disney and Universal do, and they do that because they know that vloggers are going to go, oh, let's try this dish out, and then that gets everyone going in and going, let's have that. I mean,
absolutely.
I was on the hunt when I went to Disney because I'd watched so many vlogs. I was like, I need to have some Dole Whip because everyone bangs on about the Dole Whip.
Blue milk.
And they deliberately make the Dole Whip kind of hard to find because they change the places they are all the time. So it almost makes it into like okay, where is it?
Little game.
And there was this jalapeno cheesy, I can't remember what it's called now, but it's like a jalapeno cheesy pretzel at Disney.
Ooh.
And you can only get it in like certain places, but again it moves all the time. So I remember going on a website and being like, where is it? And then someone was like, this week it's here. And I went there and I got it, and it was the best thing I ever ate, and it tasted better because I'd gone out my way to find this thing. So yeah, it's like things like that. It's at the end of the day, like food festivals are a massive thing. It's only natural to be like, let's turn theme parks into food festivals.
And
like,
we've got great food.
It works.
We have in this country, we have fantastic food. Like some of the best restaurants in the world are in this country. Like, why can't they take inspiration from that, you know, with these festivals and stuff? Like we've got amazing dishes. Like even getting the Yorkshire pudding wrap, you know, at Christmas. That was so nice.
And they did a veggie version of it with veggie sausage.
They did a veggie version of it. Wow. Nice.
And it was really good. It was really good.
Funkin' fried chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus
fried
Christ.
chicken. I like it.
Matt goes, it's incredible how our theme parks have put out more ride-themed condoms than they have food items.
Literally, yeah.
A stiff competition, Matt. Stiff competition.
Fuck off.
Oh, right, guys. I think, are we done?
I think we're done, mate.
Yeah, man. That's a long one, isn't it?
Good. Keep these food suggestion names coming in the comments, by the way. Like we've got to.
We might need to do like a whole food episode.
Oh, we got we got it.
Yeah, we should do like a mukbang episode where we just get loads of food and we talk about food.
Damn straight we should. That's kind of my podcast. Let's go. Loads of
we all just sit down with a mixed grill each.
ASMR. No. Some people hate that sound.
Too much fat on that one.
Buffalo wings. No, Yumangunda wings.
Theme park mukbang. That sounds like a category on a dirty website.
Don't that bombshell.
Don't Google that.
don't do theme park mukbang. Let's not go there.
Cargo's, can I join that
one? Which one?
Any of them.
Every food at Alton Towers. It's great. It's a great keyword in there. Great.
Yeah, but you just read it like he's saying it though. Like he's that kind of guy now. Like you just read it how he would say it.
Okay, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We will be back next week with another episode that we'll think about. Probably the day before, as always.
We literally had a week to think about this episode. Yeah. It's just been like, so I'm going to talk about what makes theme parks.
Quite frankly, I think it's an achievement that this wasn't thought of the day of.
That's true. We did it yesterday. It's fine. Do you remember, like 2 weeks ago, it was like, we're going to take a week off, and it will give us a chance to think about what episode.
Loads of opportunities.
We're going to go big for the 30th episode. We're going to go something mental.
We literally don't talk about it for 2 weeks.
What makes a good theme park? Yeah, let's just do that. That's fine. Like, just throw that one in there.
just a quick one. Aaron has been to Chesington and Thorpe, and he's been to Chesington for the first time, I believe. So he's shot a vlog that'll be coming out on Coast Gen in the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that.
With Denise.
Yes, with Denise.
Denise the duck. Cool. And my Plopsaland vlog will be out tomorrow, so you can look forward to that.
Looking forward to that.
And I'm crossing off another bucket list.
Oh yeah, where you going?
In a couple of days. I don't want to say. Just
you're not saying.
Look out for me on Twitter. I kind of like.
You're not want to say because
I kind of like not like saying where I'm going and then just popping up on people like surprise, motherfucker.
Well, yeah, I didn't know till literally 2 hours ago when you said.
Yeah,
it's like I swear to God, like in a month's time, it's gonna be like surprise. I now live in China.
Guys, I'm on the moon.
Okay, cool. We're looking forward to seeing that trip. I know what it is, and I'm very jealous. We've booked Hansa and Heide Park, Hansa Park. They are. I can't wait to do a Merlin Park in a different country. It's gonna be mad. Like,
yeah.
And also,
that's gonna be interesting to hear about. Actually.
My first ever Intamin prefab. I'm so excited about it. Like. I don't care. Even if I don't even like it that much, I'm like, at least I've done one. So this year was going to be the year of Boulder and Helix, but obviously not
next year.
This year.
That's going to have to be a huge trip next year. That huge trip.
Oh man, I can't wait. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please give the video a like and make sure you're subscribed. It really does help us. And we will see you next week on Chain Dogs. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye. Can I get a